Hello, boys and girls. We've brought a special guest. Okay, sorry. Okay, fine.
Hello, boys and girls.
Kai. We brought a guest.
Yes, special guest.
For a special announcement for Lagos people.
Please.
Dima, what's happening?
Okay, I'm here to tell you guys that it's happening.
What is it?
What is happening?
The party, the live show.
Okay,
calm down.
Sorry. Yeah.
The live show is happening on the 18th of December. And the party is on the 21st of December. And tickets are available on the 28th of November.
Yeah.
So as soon as your
Please,
salary comes
fast
in
fingers.
like
Nobody
this.
should DM me, tell me to message Jola.
I don't want to know.
Because now so intercession I did. Okay? Hurry up. Pay attention for the announcement and please get your tickets.
As soon as your salary lands like this,
On the 28th.
quickly. Don't let it waste time. Jola,
All right, guys. See you there.
I'm leaving this platform.
Are you into big boom?
Keep telling people you have anxiety issues. It's a lie. You are just wicked and mad.
Look, you've done BBL and we're all happy for you. Carry your new bum and go outside.
This is the podcast for you.
I'm not poor.
Are you sure? It's because they are vaping. Now everybody's marrying on time.
At your big age.
Wait now.
Do you know that I don't have clean pants to wear tomorrow?
I said what I said. The Unsolicited Opinions podcast starts now.
Please, this is a public place.
Hi, my name is Ugo. On this episode of I Said What I Said, we discussed mysterious and important things.
Like what? Like what, Ugo?
Well, you have to listen to find out.
Exactly, they do. But we solved some dilemmas. We spoke about money dynamics in friendships. Ugo gave us some wise words about not letting money control you.
Jola showed humility.
Well, we did a recap of our live show in Abuja. It was fun. It was really, really fun. Ugo was a very good guest.
One. It was. I have to be honest, I enjoyed it.
Yeah. All right, guys. Enjoy.
Hello, boys and girls.
Hello, all.
Greetings to you.
The bounce is tired.
The bounce is exhausted. Abuja
Tired.
people, you really try. We just came back from Abuja and I'm tired.
It was incredible. So let me know, like, it wasn't, ideally we should not be tired, but we really like going to Abuja. We have so much fun with our friends.
We do a bit too much.
We do too much every single
when
time
we go
to
and so
Abuja.
we end up like, you know, people who are going to just have their show, there's a way they do things. They go, they relax. One of our friends was looking at us like, people are so irresponsible. Shouldn't have gone to bed by now. I kept telling him, my dear, we'll be okay. Anyway, we really enjoyed the show,
city.
but also the city, the trip. And so there wasn't enough sleeping being done. And so when we got back yesterday, I just, it was bad.
Let's introduce our guest first and then we'll do a little recap of the show.
We have a guest.
Who are you?
You know how we always say that you should tag, this is literally my sponsor.
Literally, we text him, we tell Debbie text to go.
This is literally
Begging for us.
This is literally our sponsor.
Yeah, tell them who you are.
So my name is Ugo. Ugochukwu. Sometimes it sounds like I'm repeating myself. But I promise you I'm not. I work with Bamboo and the Missan team. I'm allegedly doing marketing. Realistically, I'm suffering, but I'm glad to be here.
Thank you for coming. We've been working with you guys for a few years.
Shares that you can
exactly. What did you bring for us?
Shares.
Yeah.
We can discuss after.
Because this your glasses look new.
Why will we discuss
You've changed this eyeglass.
Why will we discuss it after? Why don't you want to discuss it where people can hear you?
Do you want people to harass you outside?
No, I just want to know yes or no if you brought something for us. Oh, good,
yes.
Okay.
He didn't bring anything. He's lying.
No, don't mind.
He's lying.
We'll find
Don't
out.
mind anything. Because like if you came with like Apple stock, that would be useful for me.
We can run it now. It's not a problem.
Okay,
We can run it. It's not a problem.
This is why I like to know people on the back.
Richmond and Yamo away.
That's
Of
what
this running that you
we
want
can
to
run
do.
it. We can run it.
Well, the way my phone was start ringing, don't be like, how do you pronounce your name? I'm a one. Anyway.
How was your weekend? What did you get up to?
Nothing. I like to have strategically unproductive weekends.
What does that mean?
So I'm a bit of a
Today you
homebody.
even named it. It sounds like
I'm a bit of a homebody, so I don't do anything. At least nothing that requires the use of my brain cells.
Yeah.
So this weekend was mostly try to catch up on my shows. Anything on Apple TV, I'm watching it.
They're so good.
Yeah, they're
The
really
advertising
good.
is so bad, but Apple TV is so so good. Like that's a very good app. Like you know how everybody like streaming app. Apple TV has really, really good shows.
That's the problem is just you don't. So like when I think about, first of all, I have to reach to have Apple. It's a very complex issue for me. But I do watch some of the shows and they're really good. But I guess because Apple has, Apple has all the like nutrients, like the core things and not enough fluff.
Yeah.
But then the thing is Netflix has good stuff, but it also has stuff you can play and just be going.
Yeah.
And I think that is the difference.
That was Apple's actual strategy. Do you remember when they had that almighty photo shoot with like 1 million stars?
Yeah.
Yeah. And so apparently I think what the thing was, they were trying to figure out how to get directors, producers and actors to bring to them the projects that they knew in their hearts were very, very good, but would be too slow on the uptake for TV.
For everywhere else.
Who have to rely on ads.
Yeah.
And then for streaming, who worry about drop off in the first couple of minutes. So Apple wanted to take that risk with shows that people would read and they'll be like, this is really, really good.
Yeah.
But I can't see what will hook people super, super fast. And actually that's legitimate.
And I think it's a legitimate. I mean, it reminds me of like an HBO where everything, at this point we know that it's an 80% chance that they release a show, I'm watching it. So it's interesting like that. But sometimes I find that when I'm like, okay, especially like yesterday now, I didn't watch TV yesterday, but if I'm tired or I don't have the energy to do anything, I can't watch a show on Apple
I see
TV.
what you mean.
Yeah.
I think they also
I'm
don't want
I'm paying attention, but I want to be into it. And I'm the sort of person that if I'm watching something I like and I go to the kitchen, I come back, I have to go back.
So, funny enough, when I'm watching stuff and I struggle with Netflix, like I think it's safe to say like I don't watch Netflix anymore. Like I still have it, but I don't. Yeah, because for me, watching movies, growing up, right, I like to read, but I'm not a reader like that. And I like to read like very weird stuff. But like movies and TV shows is how like we grew up in my house, like Law and Order, all the Law and Orders, any legal show that was good between like 1999 and 2005, I probably watched it, right? So TV for me is like big. So when I'm watching a TV show, I want to be sucked in. Like I want to forget I own a phone.
Yeah.
I want to forget like there's a universe outside. And I find that increasingly difficult to achieve on Netflix because it's just like somebody's talking. Sometimes it's almost like they're describing what they are doing, so I don't enjoy it, but like with Apple TV, occasionally Paramount Plus has something interesting, HBO. So that's honestly for me, like I just want something that sucks me in, and I feel like Apple TV always, especially sci-fi.
I get what you mean. There's some shows,
but that's how Netflix started. Because you remember House of Cards, you could not look away. You couldn't
and Netflix
look away.
still has a few. There are things that come out. The problem is like it's
far and
there's
few
so
between.
much, and so it's like The Diplomat that the last season just came out
good.
is brilliant. Honestly, it doesn't feel like a Netflix show.
Yeah.
That's a sad thing to say. They are going to the execs are going to hear that and be kind of upset.
Yeah, so like the first season of Nobody Wants This was honestly rom-com gold.
They didn't need a second or third
It was 10 over 10. It was It was honestly beautiful. This second season, it wasn't the first season, is what I would say.
I didn't make it past episode 1.
The
second season.
The second season, I just was like, this is not what we asked for.
Yeah.
But the first one, so there are moments that they have where I'm like, this is a fantastic show. And then, it's just, and then there's all the other.
It's the same way I'm worried about the season 2 of, what's that, with the black teen?
Forever.
I'm
so worried.
I'm worried about season.
I'm so worried about it.
No, it hasn't come out.
So Forever
is
season
1.
Okay. Forever is like a
romantic dramedy.
Okay. But it's two like young black. They're graduating high school, going to college in America.
That's not my area of specialization.
No, but I promise you, it's actually really good. Forget romance. I remember one of my friends. He came to my house and I was like, "This is what we're doing today, unfortunately." And he got in on like third episode. By the time he got to started watching this from the beginning.
So it's actually good. It's good. So she's like a student athlete, and he likes basketball. He's not like the best at it. He's a little dyslexic. He likes to make music. And they come from vastly different backgrounds. But it's not the worst thing in the world. It's just very, very, they're people.
Yeah.
Yeah,
No
and I love it
characters.
because it's like
Good.
not one of those like romances where
Yeah.
everything is just they're like this is real life.
Where's the son?
It's on
Netflix.
Netflix.
Okay,
but
that's the problem.
but there's that's the problem. But
Don't
there's
say
honestly,
that.
but there are a few shows that I think the best show on TV is The West Wing. Just full stop.
For the past however many weeks, we have been telling you one thing and one thing only. Nigerian women achieve. As you guys know, the co-founders of Bolden are Nigerian American women who have created fantastic products. Fekemi and I are in love with a number of their products, their eye patches, dark spot fix, their face wash, a number of fantastic products. And I know that some of our Nigerian listeners have been wondering where you can actually find said products. Fekemi, where can they find
Thank
them?
you very much for that question. You can shop Bolden products at MedPlus, Tika 4, Beauty Hut, Nectar Beauty, Cho and Zen in Abuja, and Tulip Body Care in Abuja. If you're outside Nigeria, if you're in the US, you're in Canada, you're in the UK, the rest of Europe, as usual, we are always here being benevolent queens, and we have gotten you a 20% off discount code, which is ISWIS20 to receive 20% off all items on the website. The website is www.boldenusa.com. So please go to it, use our little code, get 20% off. Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.
Okay.
Do you know
I would
what?
really argue.
I think
But
that-
you're talking ever.
I would do a debate
Ever.
that the best show that has ever been
the
on
West
TV.
Wing, the West Wing changed. What I will say about the West Wing, which I was obsessed with season 1 and 2, fundamentally changed TV dialogue. So that's when you got consistent. It is from Aaron Sorkin that people started to do this thing of, I call it like show-offy dialogue when it's not done right, where you have an intelligent character doing a little monologue.
Yeah.
Right? So you see it in like the next show that people used to take a lot of that being done was Scandal.
Yeah.
Where like somebody just
Yeah.
and they are showing you that they know what they know and you don't know what they know. And but Aaron, the West Wing fundamentally changed a lot of how people
I think
engaged
so.
with TV. Another show that did that really well is called Newsroom.
Yeah. Newsroom.
Yeah, Newsroom was going to be the show I mentioned.
Yeah,
It was one of my,
Newsroom
yeah.
is fantastic.
I tend to have like with shows, I have a list of these are the shows I would debate
same.
people are the best in the world. These are the shows to me are the best in the world. Like I'm not arguing with you.
Okay.
I'm
Yeah,
just-
there's a bunch of them in different categories. I think for like general, TV drama thing, West Wing was I watch it all the time. It's phenomenal.
I feel like the first, is it 3 seasons? Maybe 3 seasons of The Crown.
Yeah.
Are unreal.
The last 2, I'm not sure,
No.
but the first 3
The
seasons
first 3
were
seasons
just
of
a
The
masterpiece.
Crown were unbelievable.
Yeah,
I think
I agree.
that is what got my father hooked on Netflix during the pandemic. He started watching The Crown and he could not believe.
I actually
But I didn't
agree.
really care about streaming or anything like that. So I think it was when I told him I was in a Netflix writer's room and I was like, oh, you should check out this. Wow. So now he's found tons of other things that he likes. And I think he's now starting to realize this is how he finds what he likes and stuff like that. But The Crown was very, 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 very good TV. I don't have the liver for... So do you guys know I never finished Game of Thrones?
I didn't start.
Because very early...
So like I do know, I can have a whole conversation about Game of Thrones from like, I was on Twitter then.
Yeah.
And I know the Red Wedding, something Ned Stark.
I started from
something
season 2.
Littlefinger. I know everybody.
What do you
Game of
mean you started
Thrones.
from
I did not watch
season
season
2?
1.
Why?
I tried to watch season 1 the first time and I kept sleeping off. I'm not a sleep off when I watch TV person.
So
I was just like, let's leave this and let's try season 2. So I watched season 2 side by side Wikipedia. I eventually did go back to watch everything again.
How do you start a show
And-
from season 2?
Oh, I watched Wikipedia by my side. Who is Ned Stark and what?
I think when you have to look at the character.
No, but the thing, when I find like watching shows this way, you learn a lot about randomness. Like you just discover a lot of like what were they thinking when they wrote this book,
because you're looking at I'm a strong believer in once the show is over or like a season, I've gone to Google. If I don't watch 4 interviews of it, I haven't started. I've read the director's one, like, the interview they do with the person who created, with the showrunner.
Yeah.
I've listened, or especially when a character leaves the show. Then I'm like, oh, what happened? And the drama.
Yeah.
And I really get into it. And then what else? Netflix has quite a few good where I think they shine is in their limited series.
Yes.
That is what I want to work on for the rest of my life.
They
I don't want to do
brilliant Inside Man. Have you seen that?
No, I don't think I've seen
I've
it.
seen Black
With Stanley
Rabbit.
Tucci. Stanley Tucci with the I'm just
I might have
brilliant.
seen
It's like
Inside Man and I can't remember.
6 episodes. Brilliant.
That's what you want.
Yeah.
Or I think if it was up to me, if I'm not writing like like an Insecure type,
Yeah.
which is one of my favorite shows in the
Or
world.
Insecure was also, I
Yeah.
think for rom-coms, you
Yeah.
can't
Yeah.
do better.
That, or if I wasn't allowed to create like that, I would like to do a limited series. Like everybody knows that this is the 8 episodes and that's it. Or you can have up to 10 seasons, but it's like Fargo, right? Where each season can stand alone.
Yeah.
It
so
doesn't. It's not reliant on it's a
yeah.
topical, individual thing. I think that's where people are able to do incredible.
But then to be
work.
fair, there is I no longer watch Grace because Shonda Rhimes hates happiness. I love her. But what she did to me by like season 13, 14, I said, I want to continue to have a good relationship with you, Ma. And if I stay on this particular show, it can't happen. So I moved on, Bridgerton, other things, and we're doing okay. But I think there is something to be said about going for 12, 13 seasons and and doing it well. The problem is that it's so difficult to do well.
And also like the landscape of television has changed.
You might not
so
be
you
able
see
to do
stuff
that
about
anymore.
showrunners really worried because, and fandoms have also changed. The intensity with which people engage with television has changed. So you have things where fans, like extreme fans, are writing scripts, like they're guessing what's
gonna
happening.
happen.
Yeah. And so their showrunners are like, oh yeah, they've guessed, we have to figure. So sometimes stuff now starts to feel ridiculous because the landscape of television has changed in a way where audience feedback, audience reactions matter. Slow burns can't really happen anymore. It's very, very... So when people say what happened to 12, 13 season storylines with 25 episodes per season, with 25 episodes per season or 27 episodes per season, you can do filler. You're supposed to be able to do filler episodes.
Yeah.
Something big isn't meant to happen every single episode, right? In this day and age, the audience is deeply unforgiving of filler episodes. Like, you can't just have one small, minute thing that moves the story forward happen. It has to be like a big reveal, a death, a deep betrayal, a plot twist. It has to be crazy every single episode. And the truth is, when you are watching it week on week, it's fine. But have you noticed that some of our favorite shows, when you start watching them
together,
it's
too much.
It looks insane. Some things now look crazy, but remember that we were only seeing it every week. So the drama has time to like simmer, it goes down, then you watch it again, it doesn't seem as crazy. But
the way we watch shows now, I feel like there's some shows I actually can't bulk watch because I'm just like,
yes.
It
feels ridiculous. It feels ridiculous.
I'm like, before I started eating, I finished eating. Before I settled down to leave, this one has died.
Mm-hmm.
You have slept with her sister. Oh, kill load. And I'm just like,
it's a lot.
It's a lot. I watched Yellowstone like this and I just thought, every day I was like,
Did you see...
you again?
Did you see... Was it 1923?
What?
That's
the
the
spin-offs.
predecessor.
No, I didn't. I haven't seen the spin-off, but I think the first 2-3 seasons of Yellowstone is also brilliant. And then I think by season 4 they got into this issue of things have to go on.
Yeah.
All of a sudden I said, where but I should just see now what's going on.
That's what happens when you have
so,
to.
there's a lot of that, but I haven't seen. Is it good?
It's good. If not, yes, I think.
Is 1923 the one about the dad?
No, this is the one about this guy and the babe that was British, and he...
Who's British?
No, there was if I'm not mistaken, there's a babe that is British. It's how they start the ranch. This is one with Harrison Ford.
It's super, super early then.
Yeah.
Like it's their actual
Yes, this is
person who actually starts.
So did you watch
Yeah.
Yellowstone? Is it, in Yellowstone, they flash back to like where it's really cold and the first family came and they started the Yellowstone.
Yes,
Is that what it
yes.
is? Okay.
It's them.
Yes. So like
So, no,
I
I
watched
haven't
that.
seen
That's
that.
really good. I think they did that 2 seasons and they said the second one's the final one.
That's
Okay.
good.
Yeah.
That's
It's
good.
okay.
They also
That's
can bring it back when they tried how
For
they
a
ended it.
spin-off is good. I think the most for me, the most successful spin-off is probably Young Sheldon.
Oh yes, 100%.
That
My
was
sister
so
loves
good.
that.
No,
Yeah.
that was actually
Yeah.
so good. I remember I saw it and I thought, I also watched Sheldon when he was young. And
That
then
was
I was
a-
like, actually, I stand very much correct.
That's very good character design as well.
Yeah. And they
Typical.
did it so well because that boy grew. I mean, obviously in real life, but like so quickly. And they managed it so well. And they stopped at the
great
point they were
time.
supposed to stop.
Oh, cool. Greed sometimes enters and then
Yeah, because they did
Yeah.
like 4 or 5 seasons. And then it was
they called
great.
it a day.
Until he became huge.
Yeah.
And there was nothing young about
About him.
Sheldon.
Hello, everybody. I'm here
Hello,
with
hello,
some
hello.
important, urgent, breaking news.
Critical news for you. Miss Anne is now live in the UK, my hometown. In my home nation, Miss Anne has finally come home.
Now you can open your very own Euro and GBP accounts right on the Missan app. No wahala.
Nothing.
stress.
It's swift. It's easy. The fees are low. So download it now, and get to moving. Send me pounds.
Exactly. Because
Send me
it's not
pounds.
only about receiving.
It's also about sending. Okay, if you want to test it out, I can shoot you my details. Send me pounds, I'll send you naira. Let's see how it works. Enjoy.
All right, guys. Anyway, we have to get back to talking about the live show in Abuja, which was awesome.
It was fun.
It
It
was
was
so
really
much
fun.
fun.
We haven't been to Abuja in ages, and
Like as a podcast.
yeah, and the crowd was very excited.
Yes.
Which is always nice. Not that other crowds are not, but it was very nice to receive that energy. And there was a lot of vim to speak,
Mhm.
which I like in a show.
But
What?
Abuja was our favorite one the first time we did
Yeah.
live shows ever. In 2021.
It was just so
Abuja
much
was
fun.
our favorite
Yeah.
show
It was actually
because
so
of
much
the
fun.
audience.
Yeah,
Audience
the audience
participation was
so
high.
into it.
They were very. So the thing is, the crowd reactions are different. So they were so on average, they're calmer, right? Because they actually want to hear you speak.
Yeah.
And then they engage, almost like they wait to be like, okay, now we can make noise.
engage.
Now we can
Super
talk.
interesting.
So even when something wild would happen, we never had to tell them, you guys, let's hear now, let's hear. So somebody would say something a bit crazy.
And it will go up, and then
but
it'll
it will go
come down.
immediately. Like,
But
okay,
you
let's
see,
hear the
like
gist.
all this Lagos, New York, London.
Rowdy.
In fact, before we finish talking, people in the audience are saying all their own. So it's interesting that it's a different vibe. And then in the break, we take pictures. And so, you just think Abuja, I saw all these hijabi girls. I thought everybody would see people like, if you don't get out of my way.
Yeah.
One baby was pregnant. She kept shouting, I'm pregnant.
She wrote a dilemma, not a
lady.
dilemma, but she wrote a note to us.
She was like,
Very
I'm
nice.
pregnant, please don't push me. It was so funny.
Yeah, it was fun.
Is Abuja your favorite city ever to have a live show?
I think it's
I can't
Toronto.
say. I think Toronto was still. When we came in, the sound of Toronto,
Yeah.
even me, I wanted to ask them that, is Beyonce come?
Toronto, probably.
Like I promise you,
Yeah.
we were walking on stage and I was like, like who? Almost like what happened?
Yeah.
I can never forget the sound of coming out in Toronto. They were wild. There was the volume of Toronto throughout the show is higher than any show we've ever had.
Yeah.
Then even like, I think because we were there for a couple of days,
Yeah.
because nothing like we missed our flights.
Yeah.
Yeah. Debbie and Odu didn't want to hear that. So they're like, he will be there way ahead.
So we had time to like play
Chill
in
and
the
play
city,
and-
like see our friends.
yeah, and Toronto summers are really great.
Yeah.
Because they have a lot going on, because they have like long, awful winters.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
they try to pack in as much fun as they can in the summer. So it was just nice. And we saw lots of our friends. We went to eat, we hung out, we walked up and down.
Yeah, it was nice.
It was
It was
really,
very
really
much like
nice.
Abuja, where
Yeah.
there was 70% playing with our friends and 30% was the show, which our friends also came to. So it was very nice.
It was nice. Our sponsors are Abuja, our ValueJet, and Yellow Door.
Yeah.
And they were really, really great.
Yellow Door hotels, apartments.
Yeah.
They took such good care of us.
Yeah.
Honestly.
They are so
the
sweet.
manager at Glory even messaged me again yesterday. And I was like, I literally messaged her back that I don't know if this is you doing your job or I said, but extra mile, you've gone like
You've
4.
gone, yes.
Like 4 or 5 because they got us a gift. I was like,
Yeah, they were so
honestly,
sweet.
I felt so taken care of because, and it wasn't that kind of, oh, if you need anything, please. They were genuinely, when we came back, they were like, oh my God, the baby was like, oh my God, how was the show?
Yes.
And I was
Nice.
like, I don't even know if you're working or not.
Yeah, it was
Because
very
she was
nice.
just like, wow, how was it? Like, you guys look so nice. And it was really, really nice.
Yeah, when I came out, because Fake and I were in 2 different places, so my room was sort of close to the reception. And so I went in, because we were late to get to the hall, so I sort of like ran in to quickly change. And then when I was coming, I couldn't run because I was wearing heels. And there was the receptionist and then another staff member. They were, wow. Oh, wow. It was so funny because they were like, you know how like your auntie is trying to like gas you up that you look so, oh, wow. You look beautiful. Miss Jola, you look lovely. It was so funny. I started laughing. But the thing is, I know they weren't lying, but it was so cute.
Yeah.
They were like, good Lord, God will help you. It was so nice because they were acting like who are their children.
Yeah, it was. That's actually the exact vibe.
That's how it was.
It was so nice, but
She
it
was
was
like, you want to order something? So
they
if you
kept
can't
just being
eat
like,
when you come
so
back,
are you
it was very
okay?
cute.
You know, so when we were leaving, I was trying to get coffee and then the car came, so we just left and she was like, oh, should you send it to me? And I thought, it's like this babe, you don't have to. So
and I'm really glad.
Was,
I'm very pleased for them because I started going to Yellow Door, I think maybe 2019 or something. When she had just opened
had an older
one.
Okay.
So I knew that one and I first was going there, 2019 or 2018, something like that, when Shisha opened. Because I remember it was new. When I asked about where to stay, my friend said, oh, there's this new place called Yellow Door, and that's where we went. And it was nice. I went with John and Richie. So it was nice. We had a good time. I even let me go and look for that receipt because I feel like the rooms were like 40K at the time.
Remember when I fly to Abuja, I was 60K?
Yeah. So the room must have been, it wasn't like super expensive as well. So now that they've expanded to they have a second location now and it's really nice. They have a restaurant called The Living Room. It's doing really well. You know, nice room, nice shower.
Just nice
polite
things.
people.
Like you don't have to, you know when you don't have to be calling anybody to be saying, oh, my this is not working. My that, there was nothing.
Yeah.
All the phone calls were like nothing to do with anything. Me, I just wanted extra things.
Yeah, nice.
Yeah, it was nice.
Yeah,
So
I always love them.
highly recommend. We highly recommend. And then ValueJet also gives. So the both big things went. So somebody won
Somebody won
Yellow
one
Door,
night.
and somebody won a return ticket on ValueJet as well. So I was very pleased with how things went. It
was so funny because nobody won the flight till almost the end. And then after one person won the flight, one babe, she was trying to win something else and then she won the flight 4 times. But obviously the other person had actually, all of a sudden the wheel now decided that I'm only stopping on the flight. So it was really funny.
It was really dope. We had, it was just a very nice, lovely experience.
It was nice. And then when I was coming, ValueJet, they offered me their lounge. It was just nice. It was nice. It was straightforward. When we were coming back, there was some kind of convention. Also, of men in grey suits.
So there was like
at the airport or the hotel?
No, so we got to the airport. On our flight, there was just a ton of. So we got to the airport and I noticed, I was like, a lot of people are smart today.
Yeah, like on our flight, I was just like, I've seen like 20 men in the one grey suit. What's happening? And then as we were lining up for our flight, they were like 40.
Yeah, there were so many.
That would freak me out.
There were so many.
So at some point we had to ask them, sorry.
They're like, oh, they're coming for a training.
Yeah.
There was some sort of like security detail.
Yeah,
some security agency, some sort of like paramilitary or military.
They're going to Lagos.
Coming to Lagos for like a training.
And you know how people who work in the government, they took it so seriously that we're going, everybody has to wear that jacket.
Yeah, they wore their jackets, wore their grey jackets, and they were actually kind of brisk as well.
Yeah.
They were very like, something to say, just me now, what I put.
I kept wanting to be
what
like,
are you doing?
What's really going on?
What's really happening?
I was, when you're a specialist in amebo like me, so I'm wondering what are the dynamics?
Yeah, what is happening?
Like in this group, what are the dynamics? Because one guy came in
and he was clearly the Oga.
He was the Oga, and
Clearly.
he was joking because when he came in, you saw all of them.
Yeah.
And he said something, and all of them did that Oga laugh. Ha 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 ha.
Yeah.
Oh, Oga, ha 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 ha. And I thought, oh yeah, this is your boss. So that was really.
Because what he
fun.
said was not that funny, but
It
they
wasn't
were really
funny.
laughing.
It wasn't funny. At
They
all.
were really laughing.
But they were just like ha ha ha.
That's best practice.
Yeah.
You have to keep your job.
Debbie, please, can you check the name of the person that sent us those brownies, that cake and brownies? Just please check. What's the name?
Yes, there was one lady that asked. She came with her daughter.
Yes.
And she asked if she could give us baked goods.
Baked goods.
To which we said she must.
She must send it.
I have to collect mine from your house. I
It's
can
gone.
see that if I leave. What do you mean?
It's gone.
Everything.
Please, what is the
Shola,
name
there
of
were
the
like
brand?
20 things
It
there.
doesn't matter. Amy's Treats. Sister Amy, God bless you.
I can't believe you. I had one.
Sister Amy.
Sister Amy, I want you to know that I had one brownie in the airport, and if not for that, I
Bruh.
won't know because of this thief.
I'm just joking, I'll send it to you. The cake and the brownies are so good. Let me not lie to you. We took it out of politeness. We didn't want to be somehow. Because I generally,
because you know how
when people give you
are.
things, because people are, our audience is, they are so lovely. Our listeners are so kind. Like they always buy things. They will always give us things. And so we'll collect
Yeah.
it. So when she said baked goods, I was like,
Because you know, sometimes you collect it and you're like, right, thank you.
Thank
but
you.
I'm not too sure.
Bruh.
But this one,
Hey. When
I had
got
that
home,
brownie.
I just said, let me just try like this. It was like a Biscoff
tea cake, yeah.
Yo. Wow. It was so good. Because even the brownie in the airport, Fikemi was like, I won't finish it. Let's just bring it.
So the first brownie, you know how sometimes brownies are like
overwhelming,
so indulgent and you can't get to the end because it's just like,
too much.
Why would this thing be so big? It's too much. So I now said, oh, Jonah, do you want some more share? Before I knew it, I said, well, it has finished.
Yeah, I literally had one bite. Fikemi's. And it was so funny because I got it because I get the thing where a brownie can be a bit too much, but her baked goods are
it was the
amazing.
right level of like sweetness where you can get to the end and you don't feel like you've done a stupid thing.
Yeah, it was really, really good.
perfect.
So that was really nice. Yeah, she is. So Amy's Treats.
I actually find it so fascinating, the whole, because again, I always think of myself, if I'm going to like a show or someone I like, I never think, let me give them a gift. I never think that. But honestly, people...
I think it's the nature of the show.
Yeah, and one babe, and people don't, because you would think, okay, she makes these and sells these, so that even makes sense. But people genuinely give gifts that don't concern them.
Mm-hmm.
One babe printed stationery for us, and I use it. She printed not only stationery, I realized
someone brought back
the other day, she gave me a stamp. Like if I stamp a piece of paper or wax, it has my name on it.
I'm actually
because I was not wondering that, what's this? I was clearing my room. I said, what's this? I now looked at it that, and this is my name. So I put it. No, so it's one of those things that like if you punch the letters,
I have
like,
one from my library.
So I was like, where'd you get that?
That's actually thoughtful.
Yeah, but I was like, where do you even buy such stationery? Why? And it's for wax seals. Now I need to find wax so I can be sealing things.
Maybe it's her business.
It's not.
Oh, okay.
She bought it from Amazon.
People buy us books,
like
buy
it was
us
like
coffee.
a random like popular like brand in Canada. It didn't have anything like it was you could see the brand on it and it was not I checked, it was like just like one of these like staples or something like that. Yeah.
What's the most thoughtful gift you guys have gotten from?
I think that hamper. Because it sounds like it was just a hamper. That Harris hamper, because mine had everything I really like.
And mine had everything
mine had, is like, it had like the Fortnum and Mason, the one I like. Not, and I don't know how she chose, but it had the Fortnum and Mason biscuit I like. The coffee, she gave me these Royal Blend loose leaf tea. Now that is a real person. Loose leaf teas and coffee. Again, it was the one I like. You know, there was champagne there. It was brilliant. And it was
based on what she had heard us say.
It was very
over
well,
the years.
was very well thought out as like a hamper. And also it was nice. Like I was like, when I saw the Harris thing, I was like, oh, so it was Fordham and Mason who was there. But it was a very nice And I was like, she really thought
It
about
was very thoughtful. Like, and you could
It
know,
was
you
very,
know the
very
person had
thoughtful.
been listening for a while because it was all the things we've probably mentioned it over the years.
Yes, yeah.
And so she was like,
Like, she got
this for
Percy
Faye,
paid, like,
like
just
just for Jola.
it
She
was
got
very
me books.
interesting.
She got just very specific.
It was very specific, and I really like
People have given us very nice clothes.
yeah.
People have given just all sorts.
And I also really love the notes.
yeah,
People write. I've gotten some notes that I've actually kept.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Like,
Very sweet.
I have 1 or 2 cards that they are with my birthday cards. I've kept them because they're so
Thoughtful.
sweet. And you can tell it's not just it's as if somebody really cares about
It's so
you,
funny,
which
and they're
I
always so
really
shy. They're like, I'm so sorry, I brought something. It's very cute. And then we got bags yesterday.
In New York, this babe did like a digital painting,
Oh,
which
yeah.
is really cute as well.
Had some
So,
nice
we've had
things.
some nice-
So now I'm
we've had some
excited about
nice-
Lagos. Not that I wasn't excited before, but I'm more
Yeah.
Excited.
about
Actually,
Lagos.
one babe gave us a huge diffuser, which I brought back.
Yeah.
And I
Also-
have like 20 coffees from the show.
lip gloss,
There's so much coffee.
lots of stuff.
Like pods, the ground
Yeah.
coffee, all the types of coffee you can possibly imagine. People have given me at the
That's
show. So
Very, very nice.
it's very nice.
Okay, let me read a couple of dilemmas.
Okay.
I'll
I
start with
wonder
a
if we
note.
have any money dilemmas that we can get into.
I'll start with a note. Is it like go once normal gist? Don't mind it.
Anyone is fine.
Okay, so we have a note from someone who was at the show. Pregnant, outside and bouncing, says, "Hey guys, well done for the amazing show in Abuja. You didn't disappoint. I don't know if anybody noticed the heavily pregnant babe at the show. Khadija, we saw you.
We saw you.
That was me.
Like,
I mean,
man, first of all, you were in front
she
of
was
us.
right at the, no, she was,
She
like
She
right
was
at the
heavily
front.
pregnant and also sitting like right in front.
I'm in my 3rd trimester and I was there with my husband who booked us a night at the hotel of the show. Immediately the tickets were out. He's a fan as well, thanks to yours truly. I'd like to give a shout out to my girl Cynthia, who I haven't physically seen since we both left uni in 2017. I discovered the bounce from her WhatsApp status in 2021. Meanwhile, my boo and I are homebodies and besties, apart from a few dates here and there. This was our first official outside in a while, and boy, first of all, what we saw the Gen Zs wearing, wow. Please note that we are both 31, so it's not like we are old though. But most of all, I wanted to do this show, but I wanted to do this at the show, but I'm just too shy. So I'd really like you to help me appreciate my sweet, amazing, intentional, loving, hot husband for all he does for me. I really don't know how I got so lucky with my coconut head. Oh, that's so cute.
Aww.
That's so cute.
We love
We
to
love
see
it.
relationships
First of all,
matters
David is
that
so
are
happy.
that are not serious. See, David, our sound engineer, there's nothing he loves more than
David
marriage.
loves a marriage. Oh,
David is pro. I've never seen anybody that's so pro marriage.
marriage. David and marriage 1 and 2.
So he's happy now that there's a good report.
Yes.
Because normally once there's anything marriage, then
It's
there's no.
ending there.
I always assume by the time you've written into this
Yeah.
podcast, things are bad.
yeah,
Because
but that's very
for you
sweet.
to skip everybody in your
Yeah.
life, your counselor, your pastor, to get to advice from these unmarried ladies.
Yeah, that was very sweet. Shout out to your husband. Do you
Shout
know,
out
like
to your
once the
husband,
fact
love
that he
that.
saw the tickets, he looked at the address, said, "Okay, I'm getting the hotel in the because there was a hotel next to where
Because
we."
she's very pregnant, so it's
Yeah.
very thoughtful.
It's very- yeah.
yeah, that's very, very kind. I love
I
stuff
love
like
things
that.
like that where it's just like, this is how you show that people care about you.
Yeah.
Because you're thinking about things.
And another thing I really liked, when we were taking pictures with people, we would just have someone say, "I'm so sorry, my best friend couldn't come."
Please
and
let
you
me
just
send
see
her.
the person on
just see the
FaceTime.
person. And they're like, there was a guy and he was like, this is my guy that puts it. And the guy was just like, oh my God. Oh my God. I was like, I hope nothing, sir. But it was so funny because I thought I was going to do a video for him. And he was like, no, I'm here. Because I was like, oh, he was like, I'm here. Like his screen wasn't showing at first.
Yeah, that is always very cute. There was
He
someone
said,
who
wait, he wants to take a screenshot. Smile.
there was someone who her sister introduced her to the podcast, but her sister was abroad.
Yeah.
So I don't know what she told her sister. She was in show. So I think she told us that, that she's just leaving the show. Her sister was not like, how was it? And then she now shows my face. So it was so funny. The reaction was so funny. She's not like, I'm so sorry. I have so many things I want to say.
Please, shout out to my favorite lunatic Chika, who I met at the Lagos party in December. If you people recall, One time we did one game where you were meant to double the money and pass it to others.
Yeah.
Chika took the money. She claimed she was going to give it to her boyfriend. She did not give it to him. Do you know? Because in that, you were meant to say a kind thing.
Yeah.
And she went on about everything he had done for him. When I said, okay, so will she give it to him? She said no. Anyway, this lunatic who lives in Lagos was at the Abuja show.
Speaking of, oh my God, do you know,
I promise you. She then goes, I'll see you in December. And I was like, what is everyone?
Speaking of, do you know, somebody came from Sierra Leone.
You're talking about is it Syracuse?
New York, yeah.
New York. There was people from different states. So
Benin, Kano, Kaduna, Nasarawa,
whose existence
Yeah.
is deeply questionable. Anyway, shout out to Babe from Ebonyi who tried to convince us to do a show in Ebonyi. So she now started saying, and next time we'll be there. Yeah, Chidima will be there. So we're like, okay, now that there's 6 of you.
Yeah.
And we're there. We listen. Yeah.
I have a running theory that Ebonyi State doesn't exist.
It doesn't exist. We only know one person from there. Have you ever met anybody from Ebonyi State?
I have
You can't remember.
No, I have. No, I have. My point is like, I think Ebonyi State should exist, but I feel the mistake has already been made.
Yeah.
We're here now.
No. Like, if I'm just putting it out, I think like with Nigerian states,
They should have joined some.
they're certain, yeah. Right? My dad is from, or was from Imo. My mom is from Abia. I don't see why they should be 2 separate states. I'm just...
They're
No,
going
I'm
to
with
beat you
you.
Yeah, like there's certain states that should be like reverse named.
Yes, or Ekiti, or Shu, you know what together.
You have states where like cities are more popular than the state. So why is the state called the state? It should be called the city.
Yeah.
You know? So...
Anyway, Ebonyi and its 6 residents.
Port Harcourt people need to stop
A lot of people
me.
came from Port Harcourt. They came to the show. I thought they were going to beat Jola up personally based on her transgressions recently. But they were lovely. So people came, someone came from Nasarawa, someone came from Kano.
Not someone, no.
Actually,
Some people.
But the baby that came from Sierra Leone, I was just like, damn.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, there were people from Lagos there, you know.
is it that
they flew.
They flew.
Like they
Some flew,
landed.
some drove.
for this show?
That's what I was worried
I was
about.
asking the babe and she
In
was
this
like,
economy.
I was
In
asking her.
in this
And she
safety
was
environment.
like, no, she landed because one of the babes from Lagos was like, she would have traveled
by
Yeah.
the time,
by the
our
time of
Lagos
the
show,
Lagos show.
I see.
And so there was no, she knew she would be around and she was like, if the Lagos show is happening after this,
Yeah.
she won't be around in December.
Yeah.
So she flew. She was like, you don't get it. I landed this morning.
There are some girls that were like, okay, see you in Lagos. It's like, so why did you come in?
And there were so many people that had pictures from like other shows. So
Yeah.
one babe went to this London show, like this one in the summer. She happened to be there.
Mhm.
And so she was like, see you in Lagos. I said, girl, 3 for 3. I
It's
love
a
it.
lot.
I mean, I love it for you.
Yeah.
And so you recognize people and I'm like, I met you before.
I've seen you before.
How come?
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
so it's really, it's an intense community. It's so interesting. 2 of our guy friends after the show, they came and they were like, so what can we sell to these ladies?
Yes.
Yes.
That's
were
all
like-
they were talking about.
They
That's-
kept saying, what can we come up with to sell to you people's ladies? Just- I was like,
Yeah.
you guys want to start selling women? They said we're moving into women's
not after
They
market.
just kept saying, what can we? And I was like, I don't get you. 2 of you men want to sell to this. They say, that what their business model now is at the show. They just set up a stand selling things.
Speaking of stand, I want to be a little bit arrogant. When we tell people to come and work with us,
You guys, and
They will be
you,
doing
you
their
know,
face somehow.
and this is always my thing. You then don't come.
I can't make it.
prepared.
Am I sure?
So
What's the
fortunately
point?
or unfortunately, depending on how you look at it, by the break time, they sold out of food and drinks. But when we told everybody that 1,000 people were coming, I feel like they thought.
Just talk.
So I just thought, why we all? And if our friends did our Lagos show, and they do events all the time.
Yes,
This is
and
anyone
they do
that's in
volume.
events business, and they were like, they could not have anticipated what happened at the
So
show
they came with a trade
or at
fair
the party.
mindset.
Yeah.
But because the audience wants to engage, and we tell our people, come hungry, come thirsty, come
Like,
ready to have a
And we
good
tell
time.
the vendors, like, come as if people are going to, but obviously you never want to
Yeah.
estimate.
Especially with cooked food. Like
Yeah.
you can
You don't want it
uncook
to
it.
wait.
Yeah.
But time after time after time, early, the food and drink is over. And we're like, but we warned you. Why didn't you? You could have made.
Do you know what this reminds me
money.
of? Our Owambe in 2021. We got we paid for a fan yogo. We told him to come.
Yeah.
The bike
place.
Yeah.
The bike guy with his fan yogo. And we're like, we have two options. Like, you can sell it there, or we'll buy your entire market. But we told him that if we buy your entire market, you have to give us a bit of a discount as well, because we're taking the risk. Because he was being he was not sure now, like, why should he come and just pack him? We said, don't worry. So apparently, he went so fast. The guy now said, if you had known, you would have sold it to another, he would have added money to what he normally sell. That's what he was thinking. That he was not thinking that, is this somebody he can call to bring their own? Because he finished so fast
quickly.
to bring their own bike. Suya man, same thing. The Suya guy actually had to be like, please, it's coming. We should wait.
Suya guy was so overwhelmed. Because
the Suya guy was so overwhelmed.
We were like, come with like, as if you are doing a night of Suya.
Yeah.
Come prepared. I saw him outside. He was just like, okay, just hold on.
But yeah, I love that, because I know it's like with any small business, it's taking a risk to come somewhere to sell food or drinks. Like, you're just hoping for the best. But I love the fact that our audience just wants to enjoy.
Yeah,
And
they
they
don't
want to
show me
have
the
a good
money the
time.
vendors made, and I was so happy for them. I
Yes.
was like, hey.
Well,
At least you go back and you'll be happy.
Our dessert vendor sent us a voice note. I'm not even ready to listen to the voice note here, because I know the way she was going on before the show, Debbie was like, she's so happy. She's so happy. So I know that whatever voice note I'm about to hear is probably prayers. It's probably prayers. So that's one thing. You know, when you start something yourself and then you're asking other people to join you in your risk taking.
Yeah, because you're like, come and sell at the show, and you've gone to cook or bake all these things, and you're thinking,
God, I beg.
I like you girls, but let's know now.
Yeah.
At least if you have packaged drinks, you can take them back and sell them. But I'm always worried for people who cooked food or who baked things that just be thinking, people said there's 1,000 people. Now 50 people have not bought my thing, but it was not the case.
Yeah. Especially because and as you guys know, my TikTok is very chaotic. My feed is insane. So after every trade fair, I'll just be saying, you guys, they told us there will be 3,000 people. We made for the 3,000 people. Please buy my market. And I was just saying that it won't be funny. That's what they say about our show.
Yeah, and for trade fairs, it's even more painful because they pay for that stand.
Yes.
That's true.
And they're there for days, normally. At least our own is a couple of hours. Bad as bad. I don't know what you do, but I'm really happy for the vendor. So please, Lagos people, know how you use your sense, because Lagos is the show and the party, and it's more people than we've ever had. So if I were you, I would come ready. Because it will go.
Yeah.
At the Lagos, at the party last year, I was so home, babe. She had like 2 things from the ages. I said, what are you doing? She said, this is lunch for tomorrow. I said,
you know what, fair.
She looked at me and she was like, me? This is my lunch. And I just thought, you must be insane. See people hustling for food outside. You have 2 in your bag and you're eating 1. So I just think it was. I'm always happy that, we don't disgrace ourselves. Okay, let's see what we have for people. What genres?
Anyone, actually.
Are you interested in?
He likes Beburu. He likes Amebo. He likes Amebo. Okay, I have one. Miss Fornication. Says, hi, girly pops and Ugo. I hope you are doing... I didn't want you to feel left out. It says, hi, girly pops and Ugo. I hope you are doing well. Yeah, where is it? Okay, there it is. I have been cheating on my boyfriend, and I was in denial of my actions at first, but now I need to stop lying to myself.
Wait, sorry. How are you in denial? I'm so sorry for interrupting, wife.
He cheated on me multiple times before now, and I would end up crying and ending the relationship. But once he begs me, I'll take him back. In brackets, I'm a big fool. Anyway, my eyes have opened and I've cheated back with the same person multiple times. More recently, Please, we have to put this is an explicit episode. More recently, I saw my side chick's big penis for the first time. I screamed internally. I knew I couldn't have sex with him before he destroys me with his wooden tool of pleasure. So we just resorted to foreplay. Anyway, I feel quite bad, and now I have to end my relationship, but it's so hard.
The problem is that this is a criminal.
He's a thief.
And the person cannot even do the theft properly. You say you wanted to do bad thing. You got there and you're screaming, oh my God. You didn't know that. You see, this is why you should not do more than yourself.
Yeah.
Now you done more than yourself. You wanted to be a bad bitch. You've arrived at where bad bitches are going to, and you cannot go there.
She's not a serious-minded.
She said serious-minded.
Lacking focus in all areas.
Do you know what's killing me is that I can hear Ugo when his friends are saying, and I like her. He said she's not serious-minded.
She's not. No, because you're lacking focus
Everywhere.
I think generally as a concept, you should take a step back from relationships.
Genuinely.
I feel these things that sound funny, but like there's certain things in life that you have a focus problem. Yeah. You have you can't do the one correct, focus on the one correctly.
You can't even do the cheating.
So I just
properly.
feel you need to take time to develop yourself.
Wait, sorry, she said she cheated on him multiple times. Isn't it the foreplay?
Yes, so
she's a clown.
She said
So what she's saying is that every time she approached, but the obstacles were too many.
No, she was kissing. By the time we removed the trousers, she said,
she said, no, please, I cannot.
She said, that's not what, no. I only came for appetizer.
I think she should just take time off. She should just,
She should break up. That's the thing. She doesn't like her boyfriend anymore.
Let me tell you the truth. Also, you have a situation that has fundamentally broken down. Everybody's cheating on everybody multiple times. There's no relationship anymore.
Exactly.
Somebody just has to say, frankly, two of us are not.
Was there ever a relationship to begin with?
That is a good question, which brings me to the dilemma I want to read now, which is actually very in line with what you've just said. The person's name is Red Power Ranger because it's like they will soon show me Pepe.
This is also an unfocused individual.
So I was gisting with this man that I really like, telling him about how I want to travel to see my friends. Then he asked me, are we friends? To which I politely replied, what do you think? Ladies and gentlemen, Jules and my able presidents, this guy said he thinks we are Power Rangers. Like, for real, I'm scared. He has said it before, but the first time I brushed it off as a joke. What if it's not a joke? Is this one of those things that Yoruba men say to avoid entering a committed exclusive relationship? Because as it stands, we're in a talking stage, I think. Is this a preview of Shege, or my overthinking is Jesus in all caps? And I like him more, Jesus again in all caps.
Okay, so there's an adult.
No. Sorry.
The fact that she wrote Jesus and I know she was typing it as she was saying it.
No, at the end, she still wrote another Jesus. What my challenge is that she asked, first of all, the man she really asked her, are we friends? Are we friends? And when she asked him what he thinks,
He said we're Power Rangers.
he thinks that she's go-go Power Ranger.
This is where the problem started from.
Oh.
Is that, I know earlier I had said that person is not a serious man individual, but this man really is not a serious man individual.
You know what? I think this man is extremely focused.
Do you want me to be honest?
This is not the first time he has told her that they are
Power
actually
Rangers.
in a world-saving group together.
Yeah, saving the world from who?
Themselves. I know. But what I'm saying is, this is what you call we've been looking for consistency. It's in a stupid direction, but
At
see
least
how people make you run mad. Because this girl is she's genuinely trying to make out what it means when someone tells you that we're Power Rangers.
Can I say something? We need to just start, I want to start a campaign and I'm hoping that I'll get support from UN, Gates Foundation, many people. Death to situationship. No. It's affecting people's mental health.
It is.
It's affecting people's physical health. It's not every day you talk about AIDS, polio. Sometimes we have to focus on issues.
It is.
Death to situationships. What do you mean we're in a situation? First of all, I have a very
They're
strong...
not in a situation, so they're in a talking stage.
They're not even in a talking stage. She's talking, he's listening.
No.
He's not even involved.
You guys,
in
I
anything.
don't like what you're doing. What they're doing is, have you not seen that Power Ranger? Cha-cha-cha-cha-cha. Go Power Ranger.
The two of them. See the two of them.
Go Power. They are saving the world.
Also, which type of Power Rangers are they?
What
Is
Power
it
Ranger do
Mighty
you
Muffins,
think? Exactly.
Time Squad?
What Power Ranger do you also think she is?
That's ridiculous. He's trying to joke his way out of anything serious. So I hope you take it seriously.
Look, let me tell you my problem. He's whining her in such a crazy way that she's running mad. But babe, what you need to realize is that Power Ranger is actually not one of the options. You know when they do multiple choice, A, B, C, D, E. Power Ranger is actually not part of what we are.
Yeah.
As a relationship. And so the fact that this man has said it to you 2 times, he actually, in his mind, he's like, I cannot believe this babe is still here.
Yeah.
After I just told her that we are Power Rangers.
Yeah.
He didn't even go for brothers and sisters in Christ. Power Rangers is an insult to my intelligence. It's so...
Yeah.
You know the problem is, and it's something that sometimes women do. I will speak as a woman, because that's what I believe
we
I
have
am.
spoken before a dog.
You never know. You never know. Anyway, I think that there's a thing that women do it because they are worried about making a situation even more tense. They fake a reaction, right? So he says something that's supposed to be a joke. You don't find it funny, but maybe you're worried about the real conversation you have to have. So you now also laugh. So, because for instance, if he says, are we friends? And I say, what do you think? And he says, we are Power Rangers. And you just stare. You don't laugh. He has to clear his throat to announce.
I would have started laughing from the are we friends?
No, don't laugh. That's what I'm trying to say. You don't laugh because what happens is you joke it away. Don't laugh.
Yeah.
It's not funny. Do you understand? Because now you're anxious and you're worried. So when he says we are Power Rangers and he starts laughing and he just sees that your face is straight.
Or, hear me out. Or, next time he thinks he's coming over for hanky-panky. Wait, please. I love to land. The next time he's coming over for hanky-panky, she needs to buy a Power Rangers costume too. So that when he thinks he wants to see her pants, she's like, just hold on. You change. You change into this white ranger. Let me change into pink. Let's start to fighting. Since this is what you want us, yes.
I feel like this will end badly.
I know. I think sometimes you have to walk people to the end of their bullshit.
Yeah.
Now that we're the challenge in front of you is for us to be dressed as Power Rangers. What are you gonna do now?
I think...
I mean, don't get me wrong, Jola is right. Though.
Yeah. I also think this as a man, and nothing usually comes after as a man.
Yeah, nothing good has
as
ever,
a man,
in my experience, come after as a man.
I think as a man, usually, guys know what they want. When you're in a situation where you're asking a guy, what are we? He's not giving a reasonable answer. Just stand up, respect yourself, and be going. Like, it will say, this simple formula will save your life.
Answers, Power Rangers.
Power Rangers. He's not a serious-minded person. You are not a serious-minded person. So one of you has to decide at some point to be.
No, and what I would even prefer, unless you're going to buy the costumes, which I honestly think is a great idea. Let me be honest.
Yeah.
But I don't think you should even engage at all. I don't think, what I don't want you to take from this is, let me go and have a conversation. I think at this point, you have to stop speaking. And then when he messages you, find all these WhatsApp sticker of Power Rangers.
And just keep sending.
Just keep sending different white ranger, blue, green. You can even join Ninja Turtles in case if he wants to come another Avenger.
Find some episodes on YouTube and send to him to watch.
Sending it to him that since that is where you are at, because that is somebody that wants to take you for a fool.
Yeah.
And is just hoping on your decency that you won't say anything about it. Personally, I can't be in this kind of situation because the stupidity would have happened on that first day of the Power Rangers. So, Bele?
Oh, I have one. This is also a comment from someone who calls himself "My wife is my sponsor." Says, "Hello, ladies. Wonderful work you are both doing with the podcast.
Thanks so much.
This is not necessarily a dilemma, but a point of view from a man whose wife out-earns him significantly. My wife is in a career path that her earning power overshadows mine by like times 4. But it's never been a problem in our home. In fact, I've been out of work for a little over 2 years and earn a little money from side gigs here and there, which have been great. In that time period, I've learned that provision really does go beyond finances. My wife and I have a really clear understanding that we are in a partnership and there will be seasons for each of us. When she comes back tired from work, I ensure dinner is made, children are picked from school and ready for bed, etc. I can't go into more details or else this will be an episode of its own. When I have my own small change, I'll send to her and ask her to sort out line items she would otherwise have paid for or add to our savings or pay off credit card debt. I'm writing this in response to the dilemma you received about the gentleman who says he still wants to be the head of the home, but his wife out-earns him. Like you both and Dima said, she was an amazing guest, by the way. He needs to shove his pride aside and speak to his wife about how uncomfortable he feels with her making decisions without his input. To conclude, I will personally die on the line that more men should marry women richer than themselves. Just make sure she's good and you keep doing your bit to support the family. You see, as a man, this is the kind of thing we want to
This is the kind of thing we want to hear as a man. This is what you're saying. Thank you for that.
Thank you.
That was very useful. I'm going to do this one because it's just a bit cute. Bestie live show birthday shout outs. I think you put it in the wrong dilemma form, but here we go. Presidos, your biggest fan from Bono State checking in. Please give a massive birthday shout out to my bestie Famu Ogechi. Happy birthday. We plan to attend your live show together, but my break fell in October and the dates dropped for November. Pained, I won't make it. Today is her birthday. We've shared so many moments listening to you, and a birthday mention and a selfie would mean the world to her and would totally heal our heartbreak. Thank you for the jokes, the chaos, and the endless memories. Please make her birthday super unforgettable. Well, happy birthday.
Happy
Famo.
birthday.
Okay.
Happy birthday.
They didn't ask you.
Okay.
Sorry.
People have so many relationship issues. I'm trying to find something
else, Abby.
something else.
Oh, I have one that's
Something
funny.
else. Okay.
This one is asking, her name is a question. Am I being pranked by fate? Hi, Jola and FK. I love you to the moon and back. Okay, so recently I met this dude. He's super smart and a high achiever. He has the serious hot for me and I decided to open up my space to give him a chance. But there's been some manifestations I don't understand. Whenever you draw boundaries with him, he cries like an infant. I don't know if there's a thin line between making space for emotions and just straight up not being able to comprehend what you're looking at.
Mm-hmm.
When this man is sick, guys, he weeps. Like his lips are wobbling and everything. When he's shivering, he makes this loud teeth chattering sound. His lips are wobbling and then he tucks his hands between his legs. And I'm like, it's cold. So why did you dress appropriately? It gives me the ache so bad and it feels like he's constantly looking for princess treatment, but I feel bad because I worry that I'm being hypercritical. I just feel like there's so much weight around existing in this world as it is today that I cannot carry an emotionally and physically needy man. Please help. You don't like it that much.
You don't like him. You actually don't like him. The first issue is that he gives you the ache. You don't like him.
He gives you the ache.
And once you don't like him, man, the way he's breathing.
Everything is irritating.
The way he's breathing.
You don't
the
like
way he's
him.
crying. Because if you liked him, oh my God, he's so expressive.
Yeah.
He just shows all his emotions. Don't get me wrong, he sounds needy as hell,
Yeah.
which is also
Interesting.
an issue. But I think the more fundamental issue is the fact that you don't like him. So once you've concluded on the fact that you don't like him, I think we can all move forward. Here's one that is a bit neither here nor there. Skinny Girl in Transit says, how do I get my neighbor to stop bringing me food? We moved into a new house, nice neighborhood, very family oriented. My neighbor 2 doors down came by to say hello when we moved in. Within a week, her husband came by and dropped off some tiramisu and chocolate mousse that she made. I'm going to take a guess about where you live. I sent her a thank you card. I thought that was the end, but no. She bakes all the time and keeps bringing some for us. I'm no longer eating pastries because Weight Watchers here and my husband is not into them either. So we end up just throwing them away or giving them out. I don't like the waste, but I don't know how to tell her to stop.
What's a polite way
First of all, you have a lovely high-level problem.
Yes, this is so wonderful.
This is such a beautiful issue where your neighbor has decided, and you know what, your neighbor is probably happy because you ate the first one. She was like, I finally found people
somebody.
Yeah, so maybe
that
she
will
just
eat my baked
she just
goods.
likes baking.
She
So
just
she's
likes
finding who should
baking.
be.
And I promise you, this issue is in her house also, that they are like, ma, please. So how should she say? Because obviously you don't want to offend.
Yeah, so you take flowers.
Yeah.
And you tell them that you really have loved the baked goods.
Yeah.
But because that you're actually
trying
about
to
start,
yeah,
like,
you just
new-
say that.
Yeah.
You need to hinge it on you're actually trying to lose weight.
Yeah.
I want if she starts bringing healthy food.
Oh,
No, she won't mind. No, that's the thing. It's actually the
that
nature
one
of what
is
she's
better.
Okay, so,
bringing.
okay.
But
Yeah.
the baked goods,
then-
she won't eat them. My husband doesn't like them anyway. So the problem is nobody's eating them.
Yeah,
Okay.
I
And
think,
it is a threat to her weight loss journey.
Yeah.
and also a neighbor that's bringing baked goods is trying to develop a friendship as well
With you.
So you can tell her that, do you know what? Can we start working? Like,
Yeah, like
Can we
however
Yeah.
you want, whatever level you want the relationship
Yeah.
to be, maybe try and focus
Provide
on
an
that.
alternative,
But I think be
yeah.
nice about it. Get her something, maybe get her like some baking tool, but and be like, I actually love the baking, but I really can't for the moment. That's cute though. Do you know what? I kind of miss, but to be fair, what I'm about to say is not really that relevant because when I was growing up, my neighbors, my dad and his brothers all lived
on the streets.
We
Yeah.
lived one house. So it was one house after the other. So when I say my neighbors,
You mean your own?
Oh.
I mean my cousins. So walking like to my neighbor's house, I was entering my cousin's house, which was a lot of
Yeah.
fun. I have to say, people should really try and bring that back.
Living close to your family.
It was literally next door. And it was so fun because if my parents go out, they're like, oh yeah, find the house to go to. And you know, it's just a question of please, who's taking them?
Yeah.
And whoever is around is taking us. But I kind of, even our old house in England, we knew, you know, it was in a flat. We knew the neighbors, to a point where it was like, okay, you know, we have somebody coming to do, I don't know, the plumbing or something. Please, can you? And I find that now it's getting less and less with that, especially in Nigeria. Like as people have left compound type of living where outside they are seeing your neighbor. Now we're more in flats, terrace houses, whatever. People are not necessarily engaging with their neighbors. But I think it added something to like your living
100%
situation
did. 100%
to know your
did.
neighbors.
Yeah. I've lived in the building I live in. I've lived there for like 2 years. I've not had a proper conversation.
I think this is
With
most.
any of
I think
my-
this is
Yeah.
most people.
Most
This is most
Yeah.
people.
Yeah, we feel really bad. We live in a compound that has like 2 semi-detached terraces. So there's 4 families. And they really try, but I just find that we have lost something about like developing relationships and stuff like that with your neighbors and stuff. So at best, it's really polite and friendly and helpful if push comes to shove, but there isn't like a deep, this is my neighbor is also my friend type of thing.
Yeah.
It's a bit sad.
It's a bit sad, but like, we live in a standalone house. And we used to know our neighbors, but it wasn't because they were our neighbors. We knew them anyway, and they were there. But it's funny because we have good friends like down the road from, not on our own road or maybe on the road off. And I remember one time our meter caught fire, and it was like extending into one of the blinds of the house. It reached the curtains, and because we didn't know any of our direct neighbors, we were running out of fire extinguishers in the house, and so we ran down the road to our friend's house, and then they brought. And I remember just thinking, imagine if this was one of those things that it had to be quicker than that journey. There was nobody on our own street that we could
You don't
call.
even know what they do.
I didn't even know, but we knew that if we run there, nothing, no matter what, by the time, even at the gate man knows who we are. So by the time we get there and they ran, as in people in the house, all their own fire extinguishers came to our own house as well. And I just kept thinking, and we were able to put it out before anything spread, but I just kept thinking, imagine if we didn't know anybody here.
Yeah. I think is what caused this? Like, how did we, because it just felt like one day we knew our neighbors and
the next day we didn't.
And like, it's nobody's fault and it's everybody's fault. at the
Because
same time.
your neighbors are also not trying to know you.
Yeah, because sometimes I've tried to, and I'm not blaming my neighbor or anything like that, but sometimes I try to like say hello and like the way they look at me and the way I look at them, I'm just like, okay, bye-bye. You know?
And once that happens, you're like,
you know, let it not be that I'm rude or anything.
Yeah, or like
Yeah,
you're doing
well,
too much.
Yeah.
I wonder if someone has thought like very carefully about the cause and the effect of it. So we'll just ask if anybody knows what do they think it is.
I'm curious
in the
about what people
comments.
think. I'm
Yeah.
also curious about like, because so when I went to, I did it, I used to do this thing people do before. I said I went to Stanford Business School. I did a course.
You did a short course.
I did a short, to be fair, it was 3 months. Okay.
A short course.
Is that not longer than short course? This is medium course.
okay, fine.
Short course, anything 2
It's
weeks.
3 days, 2 weeks. Yeah.
I did what they call medium intermediate course. Anyway, it was this innovation and entrepreneurship program, which is out of their business, their like longer business school program. So we did it, and what happened was on the first 2-3 days before we even started any classes, everybody had to pitch an idea, and they boxed before you pitched. They had like divided people into different industries. So it wasn't like your personal idea you came with, but if let's say you were in retail, you were in grocery, you were in food and drink, it was that kind of thing. And then you would not have to just come up with an idea. But the whole idea was everyone would pitch, and then they randomly assigned us into teams of like 4 or 5, and we would have to decide amongst our team of 4 or 5 whose idea we pitch. But because it wasn't anybody's personal like
They weren't tied to it.
we weren't tied to it, and we could pick. And we ended up picking an idea from this French guy whose house, me, normal. As soon as I heard he lived in the countryside of France, I said, wouldn't it be nice if, because after the thing, there was a break. And so I went back to London, and there were 2 other people there. And then, and the class, they did the class there and also in London. Okay. So they were traveling around. So when we were in London, and we had to do our preparation for presentation. I said, instead of just doing it in London, what if we go to this man's chateau in France to do the presentation prep? And so, Johnny, we went to the France for the homework. My mommy was like, I don't get it. You're going to France to do PowerPoints. I said, Ma, you don't have to understand it. Okay? Anyway, the point was, one of the things they did there was that they did this group buying where there's a service, not quite an app, but you sign up in your neighborhood, and then you buy groceries from different farms, but all together. So if it's 3 of us, we have, you need 10 tomatoes, I need 5, you need 4, we need 10 tatashe, but we know that from the farm, once it's 20, the price drops to this. Once it's 30, the price drops to this. So what would happen is the neighborhood would order together, like maybe you have to order every week before Tuesday at 10, and we'll order together and everything will come, and then somebody is in charge of. And I thought it was so cool. So then we changed our idea to that. Like for the pitch. It didn't work out because many things in London, but they did it across everything, fish, meat. They had
it makes sense.
2 or 3 butchers. But when we were just talking about it, he was like, for him, what it did specifically was all of a sudden you know who your neighbors are. Because if this is your week to organize the kidney, you have to get everybody's thing. And then over time, because they rotate the responsibility of who has to do it week on week. And it's just going around and getting everyone's stuff and giving them. But then you start to now know, because you have to go around, you now start to get to, and he was like, over time, they've been doing this for over a year. You now know people who live around you, and then you realize, your son and their son are of similar age, they both play football.
Why not?
Next thing you know, on Saturday, where do you play football? Or I like your nails, where do you? And he was just like, it's so interesting because a random thing like this once a week grocery, just for fresh produce, became that joined them together. And I found it so interesting that he was just like, it's so random, but it's interesting. And we don't even have
part of it is our urban planning.
Yes.
So the lack of urban planning means things have changed. So for instance, when my parents, so now people are it's weird. So for instance, people who move house, keep their old church. Originally, when you move, you look for somewhere close by. That's where you eat. That's where you shop. That's where your kids go to school. So I used to go to school. When we lived in Lukweji, I used to go to a school. I used to be able to walk unless it was raining, I would walk from my house to school. I didn't go in a car. And a lot of people who lived in that area in Ilukweju, the different parts of Ilukweju, we used to go to the school. And then a lot of people that were Christians, Pentecostal Christians, used to go to Fountain of Life, the church. And then we used to go to Eddie Chat in Anthony to buy things, or we would always meet at like the smaller type salons. We would bump into each other. And it's because the communities were designed with the idea of like being communal as well. And then fences were much lower. So people used to talk in the mornings. Like my dad would leave early for work. He worked on the island. His house is on the mainland. So you're coming out of your office, you're coming out to leave, and people are coming out at the same time and you're greeting each other. Then people also realize, they support this team.
Yeah.
They don't support this team, and so over time, I work in finance. He works in this. How far? And over time, you're developing just a relationship, right? And I think now the complete lack of urban planning, or just even the thinking about it, means people react very differently to different things. You just don't have the same attachment. It's the same reason why my friend Shade she's been worried about Nigeria's like greenery, basically, particularly in Lagos, where she lives in the Ikeja area, and she feels like every other week trees are being cut down, and the excuse is for development, but it's not. It's the development starts, and you're like, but you could have left the trees that were outside. And she has this thing where if people that are unattached to the land don't care about the progress. So if you don't see where you live as an extension of who you are, you don't care about what's happening in the environment. You don't care about the other people, not in a deep and meaningful way to get to know them. You don't think of it as these are potentially my children's friends' parents, or this is somebody that I can rely on. This is somebody I can hang out with or go out with. And so you don't actually invest in that relationship in any meaningful way. Meanwhile, for the first couple of years, my neighbors were my friends. Like it meant a lot until we moved house the first time, and then it changed. Even when we moved house to Bagada, and our next door neighbors were our guys. Like the fence was so low, our parents had to smack us to get us to stop on both sides. Yeah. We would literally just hop over the fence, and then their parents would be like, "You people should please use the back gates.
I'd stop jumping up and down.
Stop jumping the front fence." Like imagine somebody passing and just seeing like 5 children jumping over fences. Are we thieves? Like what are you doing? So I think those things are kind of important, but I don't know what switched and where it stopped.
You know what? Funny enough, I think VGC does this quite well, because everyone I thought there was no community, because you people used to go to the park and one thing.
Yes, but
because a lot of people I know who live in VGC know themselves.
It wasn't like.
It wasn't the estate.
Our parents don't know themselves.
Oh, just you.
This was a children. That was a children's thing.
Yeah,
it wasn't like
family.
Our neighbors. Maybe I spoke to my neighbor. We lived in VGC for almost a decade.
Yeah.
Maybe I spoke to my neighbor.
So it wasn't your neighbors, it was just people.
Yeah, it was young people that lived. So, and how it happened was I went to school. Some people went to school with me that used to drive from VGC, and then we became friends. Then they will now have other friends that they met from their old school. Come together. Like, because we live in VGC, and VGC was basically at the time like the doldrums of the world. But it wasn't like a whole neighborly thing. Actual neighbors, no. On my street, I knew, very good example. I lived on a street in VGC for almost 10 years. I found out that our former head of design in this company lived on my street.
You're joking.
Yes, here. Onye and I used to live on the same street, and we did not know for over a decade. We did not know we lived on the same street. Onye and I are probably a year apart, max.
Yeah.
Max. Same streets.
And you had no idea.
Fun fact, Onye's family takes Christmas decorations super seriously. Like it's a whole thing.
Yeah.
So people from the entire estate come to take pictures
of their house.
We used to do it every year.
And you did not know. Wow.
I did not know.
That's crazy.
Community is very, very different. So I think it's kind of broken down in an unfortunate way, but I don't know why or how.
One of the things is slightly related. It's not related. One of the, if I were to ever become president, which I will not be, because I don't think I'll make it past the first year. It's like, and this is like unpopular and it's controversial, but the idea of state of origin,
yes,
is I also have personal experiences with it because of how my family is
Go on.
constituted.
Oh, explain.
So as far as I know, hopefully none of my relatives message me after this to say you're not correct. As far as I know, on my dad's side, my grandma is from Delta.
Okay.
Right. So
Modern day Delta.
Yes.
Okay.
Sapele.
Yeah.
So my dad technically should be half Igbo.
Okay.
On my mom's side is where it gets complex. My great grandma, who I met, is from
So cool.
modern day state Kogi.
Okay.
I've met my mom's Kogi cousins.
Okay.
I understand that her mom was Fulani.
Okay.
Right. And some of the story of how they met, and my great grandma, I understand that she, what was it? Eloped with her Igbo boyfriend.
Yeah.
Right. And so I was born in Lagos. I grew up in Abuja. I have like an emotional attachment to Abuja.
Yeah.
In a way that even though like I've lived technically just slightly most of my life in Lagos, I don't necessarily with Lagos.
Yeah.
But like people keep saying Imo State. I don't.
And you're
I
like,
don't know her.
What do I have to do with this place?
Like I would even rather say I'm from Abia because I've spent more time with my mom's family like in Abia.
I have a big thing too.
Yeah. So this idea that you're from a place, because nobody can prove my father is from Imo State. He said it. You can't. There's no certificate. There's no evidence. If he lied, because even the dad that said he's from Imo State grew up between Benin and Delta.
Yeah.
So this idea of Imo, Maka from where? Like from where?
If you drop him in Imo State, where or can he move up?
I have a theory, and I hope historians can, or people who study like history, government, etc. I think state of origin was a solution to a problem that a lot of like military generals had, right?
Yes.
Where it was to give themselves, to legitimize the power that they were trying to hold.
Yeah.
They said, oh, the person in charge must be from.
Yes.
Yeah.
And it never left. So for instance, I feel like your tribe is your tribe, and your ancestral home or where your parents own a home or a homestead matters.
Yes.
But I think one of the problems we have as a nation is the fact that we have a lack of fluidity in where people can't lay claim to or lay stake to. So it doesn't matter that you've lived in. My grandparents moved from Elisha to Lagos in the 60s. And our family is a very Lagos family, right? So I shouldn't feel some type of way saying I'm from Lagos.
Yeah.
Right? And my grandparents felt no type of way saying they are from Elisha or they are from whatever. But there are some people whose great-grandparents lived in Lagos, but the attachment to tribe means that they cannot lay stake to
Lagos. They have to say they're from somewhere.
Or to Port Harcourt or to Abuja, right? I think it's very odd and very strange, and it affects the psyche. So people treat the places that they've lived in for decades emotionally like it's temporary, so they have no attachment, so they don't care.
And then you're supposed to have in very specific circumstances a deep attachment to where you're from.
Exactly.
But it's in very narrow situations.
Also with this thing slightly related as well that they're going to do next year with the taxes. Like I'm not paying taxes to Imo State government. What's my business with the?
To be fair, I could pay taxes to the countryside. I'm there. From time to time.
But that's
that's
business.
different because like I'm close to Abeokuta.
Yeah.
And like we go there. My dad lives there. But if I was from some other place now, what are we?
I think you're right. I think there's it's something that a serious country would grapple with. Why are these rules made for the reasons that they are?
Yeah.
People that live, work, make money in Lagos feel like they don't belong here.
Yeah.
And so the treatment of the city, the lack of care about how your environment looks, is because fundamentally you don't want to invest in a place that will tell you are not from here.
Yeah.
Right. And then the people in charge see it as an extractionary base. So they don't invest in the place in the city. Right. It's to say it's so interesting to me. So that's why regardless of all its faults, one of the things I really enjoy about America is the fact that ownership of the land is about the investments you make in the land.
Yeah.
Not about.
So a good example would be, I'm trying to think, you hear stuff like a politician would say, I'm from Houston. My parents are from Minnesota. Right? And you're reading and it's like, oh, the person moved
there and grew up
The person
there.
went to college in Boston and after Boston got a job in Houston and moved there when she was 21. And 20 years later, she's like, yeah, this is where I'm from.
Yeah.
And my kids will say they are from here. Now, if said kid should move to another place, we'd be like, oh, I'm a Miami girl. I'm from Miami.
Yeah.
I'm from Boston. And I think that thing of you invest in a place, you live in a place, you work in a place, you care, you vote, means you are from the place.
Yeah.
It's something for us to grapple because nobody can change my tribe for me. It doesn't matter what you say. But even when you think about how these states were created, generals are trying to stop infighting, consistent coups.
They literally just drew lines.
They drew it and said, okay, this is your own fiefdom. Take it.
Yeah.
Do you understand what I mean? And now
places
we
were
hold
joined together before they separated them.
Yeah.
And that's crazy because like if I'm not mistaken, like up until the 80s, we were still creating states. So like a lot of the states that we have today are fairly recent.
My
developments.
father, people fighting to be from there. I'm like, I hope you know your grandfather doesn't even know.
Yes.
My dad always talks about how he did NYSC in Bendale.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm like, Chief,
that's not a place anymore.
It doesn't. No, but it's so. That's the thing. It's not even like that's not a place anymore. But it's just so interesting to me that is now. That was some people woke up and decided they wanted to draw these arbitrary lines to share money
and then even as
power.
they drew the arbitrary line, people on two sides of the line who were together before, suddenly 10, 20 years later you're supposed to have a different culture. And it's like, okay, so but we live in the same. I think it's very interesting, and I find it even more interesting when it comes to. And I think this is part of what is messing up our politics.
Yeah.
Because somebody who has lived in Lagos all their life, was born here, grew up here, knows here, all of a sudden an election has come, and they say they are running for Kogi State. And I think to myself, if you go to Kogi State, can you point me to 3 places?
Yeah.
No, but because their state of origin is Kogi State, they have to run. Now, people in Kogi are electing someone that frankly, they're like, who is this?
Yeah.
Who
and
is
you have
this?
no emotional attachment to the people.
Thank you. The first time you went there was when you decided they are running for office.
Yeah.
And so it's just somewhere you went to once in 5 years. Now you have no emotional attachment. You have no understanding of the state, of the people, and yet you're in charge. And this is how crazy decisions start being made.
Yeah.
Because you have people that are not from anywhere, but because of this state of origin thing, you have to now go and run in a place you have no affinity to, no understanding of, but you're making decisions that are going to affect everybody there. So
I mean,
it's fundamentally messed up.
You can also just drill it down to how much do you care about the insecurity in that area, the education? Your children don't go to school there. Your family is barely there.
When you want to go home,
you come back to Lagos or Abuja. So the things that mean the most to you are not there.
Yeah.
So the quality of the education you pay lip service to because your children and grandchildren, they're not going to benefit or suffer from the effects of these decisions. Urban planning doesn't mean anything to you. Giving like Chinese companies cheap 100-year leases because they've given you a bribe to build like a terrible company that has lead poisoning and extracts and destroys water or trees. It doesn't matter to you because these things don't hold any attachment to you. Meanwhile, you as governor, if they tell you that, near your estates, they want to build so and so, you'll be fly angry and come and start shouting and screaming at them. They're not allowed to do that. What does that mean? So it really does mean a lot. There's one more dilemma I wanted us to do.
Okay, and then I had a question.
Yeah, we'll do it after this. Please hold on to your question. Don't forget. This person says, hurt by my best friends. Hello, Jola and FK, and hi to Ugo.
Thank you.
My best friend and I moved to Canada. My best friend and I moved to Canada over a year ago, and we're both 33, single, and trying to start life afresh. But since we got here, I noticed something has changed with her. She believes that Western men don't do long talking stages, and if you're not intimate with them early, they'll move on. So she's been intimate with every guy she meets, even the one she doesn't really like, and it's in the house we share. I told her I don't like this thing, and we had a bit of a conversation about it. To my surprise, she got defensive. Sorry. 1 sec. Where is it? Yeah, okay. To my surprise, she got defensive and was laughing and said that I should follow she said, feel free to follow the footsteps of your mom, a single mother. That statement broke me. I've been distant since then, and she keeps trying to have casual conversations like she doesn't owe me an apology. We share a 2-bed, and I'm honestly hurt enough to consider subleasing and moving out. Will it be doing too much, or is it fair to want distance after a comment like that? Ugo, please feel free.
I answer just one part of it.
Sorry, I just want to say something. Do you know, like, I feel... I don't know if the word is sexy, but when I do this, like it's such a...
There's nothing. The other day, I hand on heart. The thing is, this flip is not that quick, but someone was talking on the phone and I did this. Oh my God.
Yeah.
The way my body was treating me, you can't believe it.
Yeah. It's so funny because my mom is like a Samsung babe.
Yeah.
And she always has one
As
Samsung.
are the best of us,
shut up. And my dad
Samsung
only uses...
ladies.
My dad only uses Samsung phone. So this is actually my dad's current phone
Yeah.
as well. And so for him, oh, by the way, you guys, my dad has a thing. He doesn't wear glasses yet. Meanwhile, he will say stuff like, isn't this room a bit dim? It's like, no, sir.
You need...
You can't see. Just give up. You're 61. You've tried. You can't see.
You've had a nice run.
But like also because obviously it's a big screen,
Yeah.
so you can do all of that stuff. But honestly, when my mom was like, what do you like about it? I said, I can't lie to you.
The
Up
snap,
Samsung for
see,
this.
the snap is you feel it. It's not like it's a heavy.
Yeah, just
Yeah.
you come and shut up.
It's a heavy snap.
Come
And
off
then
it.
people see me playing. The thing about it is on the screen here, you can do some. Honestly, I need to do a masterclass on the tips. See, this is my WhatsApp. You can't open WhatsApp on your back. You don't have a back screen. You don't have back screen. You don't have it. So on the Samsung side, there's so many things that we are doing.
The one thing I will
that-
say, though, I have to give it to them. The picture quality is dope.
Is mad. Let me tell you, there is a conspiracy against the Samsung user led by Zuckerberg. Yes, yes. If you look at it, he hits, and I don't know what happened in his family between him and Samsung.
I think he hits everyone.
No, he hates everybody, but because on Twitter it's not quite the same.
Yeah.
You can still upload. The actual picture is fire until you get to that Instagram. Next thing you know, I'm being disgraced. The video is blurry and it's Mac's issue that we are all suffering from. So, but it's a fantastic, I have this phone. This is my third one. So it's funny in my room that I put all
Just keep
of them,
putting them
down. And then my friend came to my room like, what the hell? Why are all your phones so small? So I'm here for life. I've actually never had an iPhone.
Really?
No, yeah. One time I lost my phone and someone gave me an iPhone to use and I gave them back. But by second day, what is all this?
I love this phone. So.
No, I don't. I have someone, my friend has a Samsung and then puts the Apple interface on her phone like iOS.
No, but let me not lie. Once you get used to it, that's the problem.
Yeah.
So she switched and she found a way.
And it makes
Like all
sharing
these apps.
easier.
Just go to back to their phone.
That's all. She found one app, and I was like, what? This is bizarre.
First of all, shout out to her for her industry.
I can't lie. I said women in tech. No, but I really enjoy
Sorry, you're about to say.
the phone. Please go ahead.
I don't. I have one specific thought on this, and it's something that's personal to me. I understand it's not the way everyone is considered, and it's actually the difficult thing to do.
Mm-hmm.
But I really find it disturbing in my personal life when people that are close to me believe that I did something to offend them and they don't talk to me about it. I find it deeply disturbing and, depending on the scenario, almost disrespectful. Because,
Don't start to.
No. Again, that's what I said.
Are you not the offender?
Yeah, it might not apply to everyone.
Are you
That's-
saying you didn't know you offended them?
I can be a bit obtuse.
Don't say.
Yeah.
It's showing.
No, I can be a bit obtuse. And I also don't necessarily, one of my cardinal things, I try not to have an ego. So if you come up to me and say like, Ugo, you did this, I didn't appreciate that. Like, I will apologize to you.
Yeah.
So for me, like, and I feel like people that are close to me will know that about me.
Yeah.
So to be in a situation where you feel like, that I did something to offend you, and then you don't talk to me about it, we're doing body language, I don't understand what that means, right? So my thoughts as it affects this is, at times I just feel sometimes, and again, this will not always work out, but sometimes we also don't have like a confrontational culture.
Yeah.
We look at confrontation as
there are a lot of things that are swept. Yeah.
You can't ask questions. You can't question people above. So we've evolved a culture where it's also the only time where you can be confrontational is when we're all shouting at each other, right? So I feel like sometimes in certain situations, it doesn't necessarily mean that's going to work out.
Yeah.
But I do feel like at least take a step to be like, you did this, I didn't like it.
Yeah.
And then even however the person reacts, that's a damn situation, and do whatever you want to do whatever you need to do.
Fair. I disagree though.
Fair enough.
Vehemently. And it's because I think that if you live with it, not in general.
Yeah.
I think there are times where it happens that you don't realize that, not that you didn't offend, but that what you did, it hurts the person in this way. I think this is different because they live together.
Yeah.
And so for you to suggest that you don't realize that something is wrong after saying to walk in the footsteps of my mother, we are all mad here.
Yeah, I was going to say
We're
that.
all mad here.
We started this, Ugo, maybe because Ugo started, we started on such a polite note.
We're all mad here. It's cruel. Look, what she did is cruel.
No, I'm not saying this is necessarily going to work in her situation.
Yeah, but just in general, that's how
I think what this babe did is cruel. And to try and be like forming, oh guy, how far?
Yeah.
What it is, so I was talking to, who was it? Chidera, about something I realized that if more people are aware, they would function differently, is how strong of a reaction people have to feeling ashamed. So the thing that happened was you sat down with your friend to be like, hey babe, I've noticed we've known each other for a long time. We moved to Canada together and we're 33. So we've known each other for some time. And this new style of dating, how far?
I don't understand
it. And your friend heard you're a prostitute.
Yeah. She heard you're an ashawo.
She heard that what she heard. You said you were like, this one, you date this man today, you date this man tomorrow, and you feel like you have to sleep with all of them, which is something that I know.
Especially even the ones you also don't like. So you're not doing it for your pleasure.
Exactly. Yeah. So I know you. So what your friend now heard when you were talking to her about this thing is you're an ashawo.
She said I'm an ashawo.
And basically did what Nigerians do. Your mother is an ashawo.
Yeah.
That's literally what happened.
That's actually exactly what she did.
Yeah. That is literally what happened. So, and this whole entire thing is because your friend is ashamed. Like she was embarrassed and reacted out of the embarrassment and has done something that to me is not unforgivable, but it requires such deep. There's not just saying sorry, but there's a performance of the apology.
There's a deep remorse.
That's
and then
needed.
A period of time of rebuilding trust that is required.
Yeah, at the very
least. And nobody has to tell you.
Yeah, so the thing is, I don't think you're overreacting if you want to sublease and move out. But like Ugo said, at the very least, you have to have a very, very hard on your end conversation with your friend where I was speaking to you about something that's uncomfortable. Not just like, oh, for me, but because I'm your friend.
I'm concerned about you.
I'm not trying to police you. I'm not even trying to be weird or funny. The thing is that you told me I don't even really like this guy, but I want to get married and I have this idea of what Western men are like and I want to play into it. And now I'm worried that, do you know what it is to fuck someone you don't like? That's so...
Because you think that's what's
the
required.
That's very...
If you are my friend, I am concerned that you are doing crazy things just because, like, all this means to an end is a wild one.
It's a wild one.
Yeah.
And so I was talking to you on a friendship level, like, let's discuss this thing well. And what you said to me is so hurtful.
You insulted my mother.
You insulted my mother. First of all, okay, she's a single mom. Is it not the daughter of the single mom that you are befriending?
Thank you.
Yeah.
Is this
like,
so bad?
What are you trying to say?
Yeah.
And that's why you know that there are good people and there are bad people. Because the person that was now raised by the two parents, look at see your life outside.
Look at the way you're behaving.
No, you see your life outside. Now you're insulting me.
Yeah.
As per, you the daughter of the single mother. Okay, who between the two of us?
Yeah.
No, now see your mannerlessness.
And you must add that on top of that, now you're trying to pretend as if nothing has happened. So please piss off.
Yeah.
With this rubbish. You need to.
Don't avoid that conversation.
Yes.
Be like, that was so unbelievably
and don't make it
rude.
palatable.
Yes.
Yeah.
Don't make it palatable for her.
This is why also the thing about having these conversations is the thing that Nigerians do where you offend somebody and you don't say sorry. You just come and say like, how are you? Like,
or you buy me food. Please,
like,
so you and the food
how about
get
an apology?
Out. Yeah.
I'm fully with you. I think it's you are well within whatever like emotional reaction you have, as long as it's not physically violent. Like if you say I'm moving out, I'm not speaking to her anymore.
I think you're within your rights. I think you're well within your rights
because I didn't know that this is the kind of friendship or relationship we have where I bring up something, in as palatable a manner as I can, and rather than talk to me as your friend, you go down to insult. So you know what? Feel free. Maybe we're now different people. Yeah. Canada breeze has...
The friendship has run its course.
Yeah, so feel free. I think it's... Yeah, I'm so sorry about that, but
I'm really sorry. And I just... Yeah, to be honest, me, I don't know that if somebody in a sensible amount of time doesn't come and say sorry, I'm not the sort of person to remain in this situation. I would even, personally, I wouldn't have had discussion because I would have started finding how I'm going.
Yeah.
You must be insane.
What's the question you had?
Good. I had a question that came up last night, but it was someone had called me and they were asking how the show was, blah, blah, blah. And then we were gisting about somebody else. And it was just we got into, you know how conversations rule?
Yeah.
We got into this discussion about the dynamics of changes in income when you're close friends.
Yeah.
Ooh.
And how people deal with that. The specific dynamic was two friends and their partners. So now they've become like a
Couple friend
group. And the dynamic before was the guy in this couple was the rich person. Like everybody's doing well in this scenario. So nobody's actually poor.
Cool.
Everyone is like generally okay. So no one is struggling in this scenario. Everybody is like doing okay. One person gets an opportunity and they shoot up. Now this becomes a rich couple in the sense that 2 years ago, they took the other couple on holiday with them as friends. But there was nothing bad.
Yeah.
Everybody went and everybody is still friends till now. However, now that guy lost his job.
Which
The
one? The
rich
one that
guy.
shut
Rich
up?
guy.
Okay.
Lost his job. And over time, this the other friend, the guy, has now been like
Doing
coming
better.
up.
Yeah.
And so the discussion was about, so the girlfriend of the second guy is just talking about how the dynamic has changed between her and the other babe.
So the wife of the man who used to be rich.
Be good. So now these people are not married, this other couple, but
They're
those
dating.
guys are married.
Okay.
The couple that with the first rich guy is married. These ones they've been together, but they've all been together for a very long time.
Okay.
And so she was saying that it's weird now because when they were doing very well, it wasn't awkward. It was fine. Like everybody used to whine everybody that Shebi people now have money. We've all blown. When they went on holiday, it wasn't an awkward thing. They even bought them a gift. Thank you for taking us. It wasn't awkward, but she feels like now, obviously now it's different because everybody was okay before. Now they're struggling.
Yeah.
And now this one is, but it feels like her issue was the other lady wanted to maintain. She didn't realize that was the dynamic, but she thought that was we set the pace and you people follow us. And now that it has changed, they just thought, before it was the other way now. So now if we go for a nice dinner, before you people didn't used to allow us pay. Now we're also not going to allow you pay, and the dynamic change completely. So it's kind of causing a major issue. But it's interesting because the guys are still friends and nothing has happened to them.
Yes, I was about to say that this sounds
So
like...
she was now just saying that this is so interesting because her and the babe are actually friends now but their own relationship is not surviving it. And neither of them are the people in question. Two of them are still okay. Nothing has happened to either of their jobs.
Okay, what do you think first of all?
I think I'll deal
No, you sharp. What do you want to think?
I find it so interesting because they are like, two of us, nothing has happened to our jobs. Two of us have had the same jobs. We're doing okay. Our partners and nothing has happened to their own friendship.
Can I
but
say
two
something?
of us,
Yeah.
the friendship is now wanting to scatter.
I'm about to get deep into my fake anthropological vibe.
yeah, let's go.
This is what happens when women derive a sense of self from their partner's financial well-being.
Wow.
So the wife of the man who used to be wealthy is struggling with her partner's change
I should
in
also
fortune.
say that all these people are like 35.
That's fine.
Okay.
But the thing is that she attached a sense of self from being with a rich man. And without knowing, it affected how she would engage with other people. Now that her partner's financial situation has changed, she's trying to still assess the dominance that comes with and with a rich man. No, not just wealth, because she still has her own money.
Yeah. She
But his own money. There's a dominance that comes with being, what they call it in Ibonyi Odogu, like you're the wife of a wealthy man.
Yeah.
And she's trying to put it into it. She didn't realize that's what she was doing.
Yeah.
So now that dynamic has changed, it doesn't make sense, but it makes sense. If you've ever been around people who are wealthy before and something has changed, but so the interactions come off as like you're grasping to hold on.
onto like status. But it's so interesting to me because the part that's most interesting to me is when they met, nobody was rich.
Yes.
Do you get? So all this is in like a 4-year span because the thing was not a gradual building of wealth. It was like one thing happened and there was a lot of money.
Yeah.
And that position went away. Now, for the other guys, it was like, almost like, we've been here before now. Maybe we run. I'm like, now is our now is our turn. So the way we were before, where when you had money, she was just like, they wouldn't let them pay for anything. And now they're trying to not let them pay for anything. And it seemed to be causing offense.
Yeah.
It's almost the thing of what you're trying to say. And they're like, what do you mean? What are we trying to say? My dear, this was going on. When it was our own, there was no issue.
Yeah.
And so it's interesting. And it's also interesting to me, the dynamic of the guys' friends they play football together every time. Nobody is having
just
an issue.
A quick question. Were the guys friends and then their girlfriends?
The guys were friends.
So that's why.
The guys are the friends.
Yes. So that's part of it. So if you enter the dynamic with, I don't know, I think apart from what I said, their friendship has had its measure. So they met before he started making money. So they met before the guy who became wealthy started making money. They went through a patch where he was wealthier. Then the other friends started making money and now one of them is struggling. Because the friendship existed before any of that stuff, it's easier.
For the guys,
so the women met differently and they met primarily because their partners are friends. There's nothing that says they would have been friends without their partners.
Yeah.
Either way. So I think, I mean, I have thoughts, but the main thing is that's what I've decided in my mind is this is why people try to warn women about the dangers of getting any sort of validation from
your partner,
your partner's financial standing or capacity, and using that in the way you engage with other people and being a little weird about it. So it's not actually surprising. Like if you told this to your mom, she'll say,
no, she'll say that this is normal.
This is normal.
But it just made me think about, like, aside from partner relationships, just the dynamics of changes in income, like swift changes in income in friendships as well, and how different people manage how people manage it. Because when you were saying it, I was just surprised. I was like, sorry, two of you are not the parties involved.
Yeah.
How does it affect two of you? In fact, I'd have even thought that two of you would be in the corner just being like, Mama, I hope that this thing is not going to scatter their own, especially because it didn't affect you.
Yeah, but what Jola is saying makes a lot of sense.
Of course, I'm wise.
No, because for me, I'm like, if it was a long period of time, I would get it. But we're talking about like a 4 year, like it's a fairly short time for you to have established so much of your identity in this quick.
But we also call other Nigerians.
Yes.
They're
all Nigerians.
But then also Nigerians very quickly adjust changes in fortune.
Yeah.
It's true, sure.
And because we're a very money obsessed society, so people quickly adjust to
your lifestyle changes in accordance very quickly.
And the respect people give you, the way people react to you, how people defer to you, how people see, it's so delicious that I can't imagine it would be easy to reverse back into what's, it makes perfect sense to me. It's just unfortunate that because I'm sure she doesn't even realize what she's doing. No,
that's what that one is like. Is everybody mad?
But there's also like some, I don't know, there's also like some shame as well, because for someone who made that a part of their identity, so the thing is, I'm sure with her own friends outside of this dynamic is different. But with this friend who part of what she believes is their rapport is their success.
Yeah.
It will be harder.
Which I find strange because they were having rapport before anybody became successful.
Yeah, some people are easier to be friends when they have money.
Yeah.
Or jobs.
So it's just a super interesting dynamic.
We should probably do this. We don't have time anymore this season, but next year we should probably talk about if 1 in 3 young Nigerians doesn't have a job.
Yeah.
Then there are groups of friends where, if you're 6, 2 people on average, 2 people
might not have a job, or people losing jobs, and how it affects your friendship.
How it affects like your capacity to like plan, discuss, gist, how casual you can be in conversation. Because there's stuff that you would say ordinarily that now you can't say because one person might take it as a jab.
Yeah.
Or even something as simple as one friend, you're looking at something and you're like, this is a steal, price-wise.
And the other person is
And
like,
the other person
They're
just
like,
has
well,
a bit of
they're
a...
stealing, I can't afford it. So
Yeah, so I think those dynamics are always interesting. But well, babe, so it's different for women.
I think
wanted
it's
to ask,
different
like,
for guys.
for guys, how do variances in income kind of show up?
Like if has anybody's income in your friendship group
Like dramatically gone up or down in a way that affects... Is there any way that it affects the friendship?
so for me personally, I've not seen it affect friendships.
Friendships, yeah.
I've had we had a group of friends, and one of the guys started making a lot of money years before anybody started making money, and like we would go out and he would like pay for all the bills and like stuff like that. So for guys, depending on the guys, I don't necessarily think it plays out the same way, right? We just keep hanging out. It doesn't mean people are not thinking about it, but I don't think it affects like the group dynamics. Where it starts to show up, I think for guys is like in their own personal life at home. With their relationship with women, specifically, especially if it's like their partners or like their wives, that's where that's where the thing begins to show up. So you would see a guy that maybe group of friends, 3 guys, a group of friends, one person starts a business, the other person starts a business. One is earning less than his wife. He'll start disturbing his wife that he wants to start a business. With his 2 guy friends here, they are good. Like nothing is, but it starts to affect those, relationship with his partner. And if they are not able to, the 2 of them, the guy and his partner, if they are not able to figure that out, and unfortunately most of the times with men, we don't figure that out. No, it's one of the things, to be honest, this situation, especially with like money relationships, it disturbs me deeply. And I don't know where to start the solution, whether it's how we raise boys, how we develop boys to be self-aware, because I don't think you can take away the societal pressure of a man to financially provide. But I do think you can teach men to be able to wear that pressure differently. Yeah. Right? And I don't know that we do a good job today doing that. So you are cool with the guy friends at home. It's like you're stepping on, I've had situations where wives are submitting bill to the husband that she's going to pay for. But that's kind of how I think about it, to be honest.
That's so interesting, honestly, because I always wonder about things like that, because sometimes it makes me sad, because it's like money has the potential to scatter so much that I'm like, so it's the weight of the friendship or whatever, no more than that. It's always really interesting, because I'm just like, how is it this one thing, which is not like a deep betrayal or anything like that, able to just fundamentally change the way you're relating to somebody else?
Yeah, I think that's part of it too. That's insecurity. And you were saying this earlier, like when you, in this case, the woman that's tying her, when you as a guy tie your identity, or even as a woman, to be honest, tie your identity to things that you can afford. Once that situation changes,
you have a real issue.
You are in a midlife crisis, even if you are 25.
And to be fair, it's hard to stop yourself from doing that. It's hard to stop yourself, even though real life would teach you that things come and go.
Just assume everything can go away.
I'm telling you, but it's difficult in the moment.
Yeah.
I think I think people also talk about it just from like a psychological, lofty point of view. But if you become used to a certain type of lifestyle, it takes adjustment to go back and not to see it as a failure, but also to miss the things that you really liked. So a good example I'll give is, I'll give one that's as common as possible. If you're a woman that has like beauty maintenance, if you start going to like a fancier salon, right, that has a nicer AC,
like they do a different massage, things are
fancier, and so maybe now your bill for like your mani-pedi is like 45K, right? You can go back. You can, because it's a beauty treatment, and you can do your nails for 10K.
You can still do your nails,
but the experience is different, and a lot of people will find it hard to accept that they have to go back, not because they chose to, right? So you have small things where if you're in a downtime financially and you're Nigerian, there are things that people quickly start to do. So for instance, it's stuff like if you have a gen, the time it comes on, if you are using, and even when the gen doesn't come on, if there's lights, things like your AC, microwave, there are things that you quickly just start to let go of, and people find it hard. You feel embarrassed internally. It's not anybody else putting pressure on you. You feel like, am I not supposed to be moving forward in life? And you have to readjust. You have to reduce the amount of money you're giving parents.
And it does a number, honestly, on your psyche.
Something I've heard, people do two things. One is around grounding. So I've heard people, and I'm talking of people specifically that didn't have money and ended up making money. It's like they find one or two things or one or two areas with which you don't let your relationship with money affect that. So I'll give you a basic example. There's someone that I know, no matter how much money he makes, Chicken Republic is his go-to restaurant. It sounds superficial, but it's just a level of grounding. It's like, I'm never too big for Chicken Republic. We're not switching, right? So I think that's one thing I've heard people do. You just find something that is constantly grounding you. And then the second thing I've also heard people do is that paranoia. Right? And there are a lot of rich people that do this. I think for rich people especially, the fear of losing what you have is the drive.
So Issa Rae did an interview recently where it was Kev on stage that was asking her, do you ever think, what if it all goes away? And she said, all the time. And he was so shocked because he was just like, no, but I'm looking at you. I worry about this, but I'm looking at you. And she says all the time, keep in mind, she has multiple companies. And it's just this fear of things going away.
And I think that fear does two things. Number one, there's this saying that money that is made with hard work is difficult to blow away. Right? So it does two things. When you have that constant fear of like everything can disappear, you're very, very careful with what you're doing financially and the risk you're taking. And I think the second thing that it does is it reminds you in the moment as you're going through this period of the things that you're doing to make that money back. So if you're to make that money, right? So if you're in a situation where you lose it, it's difficult. There are no two ways about it, but there's this mindset you have unconsciously. I probably can do this again if I absolutely had to. So those two things just help keep you centered and keep you grounded. It doesn't take away the pressure or the shame that you feel, right? But the important thing is once you're in that financial situation where like you've lost it, you can either spiral downwards or start going up. I think that's the thing that is the differentiator between are we going down or are we going... And the thing with money, I feel like that is missed is that it is so mental. So much of money
really is
mental.
Like you have a relationship with it.
Yes.
And I think sometimes there is the making of it and the spending, but a lot of times I find myself kind of interrogating the fundamental relationship I have like with money, with concept, with having money, with not having money. And a lot of times you find that before we even do anything, we have to reassess what is happening here. The way you look at it, the way it makes you feel, the way other people having it makes you feel. Sometimes you have to just balance and be like, okay, do I have a fairly good relationship with it? Or is this thing, unconsciously causing issues that maybe I'm not supposed to be having? It's very interesting. But the reason this thing makes me sad is because I also think people ground.
Yeah.
Like good people that you've had around you ground you. So if the money is the thing that is now changing your relationships to them, you miss out on that as well.
It's a lot of it is like sitting. There's this podcast, Morgan Housel podcast. There was this thing he said, I don't know if it's years ago now, that has stuck with me. He's like, nobody in the history of humankind has seen a Ferrari and thought about the person driving the Ferrari. You think about the Ferrari, right? So as human beings, we don't objectively think about the people that own the stuff that we want. We think about the stuff. And it cuts both ways, which is when you own it, nobody's thinking about you. And so it should put you in a position where the moment you realize, and there's something about this that you have to constantly try to be always self-aware when it comes to money. Once you find yourself in a situation or you're beginning to find yourself in a situation where your relationship with money is, we'll say for sure, but it's not really for sure. I don't want to mean for sure, in only the blatant sense, but you notice like the things that you're putting around you, the things that you're doing is in part to show off. You want to be very careful. That's one of the first signs that there's a lot of unhealthy attachments being developed here. Not to say you can't have nice things. Not to say you shouldn't do nice things for people. But you should always be very skeptical when you see that beginning to creep in. I want a new iPhone because the back of the camera. And kind of Apple knows this because they did a phone with AI. It didn't sell. They did a phone. They just changed the back. I'm sure they even did it with one design. Change the back of the camera. You know, an iPhone sales. Once you begin to notice those very subtle things, because it's very rarely ever about the big things, you should start thinking that you're beginning or you have already developed unhealthy relationships in money, and you want to start like thinking about those things. Okay, if I lost everything, will I be good? If the answer is no, why? How can I change that? Some people might need to actually pay somebody to help you walk through these problems. But I say like the fundamental nature of money is that it comes and it goes. You know, there's a great Nigerian philosopher, M.I. Abaga. He once said money is slow to enter and quick to go. It's the fundamental nature of money. It's not designed to stay with you.
Wow.
What a wise one. What a wise one. Oh, Bamboo.
But thank you, Ugo, for coming. Did you have fun?
I did actually.
What do you mean actually?
I wasn't sure. The last time I was on this podcast, which I wasn't, it was like when we forgot to invite you to the 5th anniversary.
Oh, good.
Because you did.
Let me tell you what happened. That episode came out. That episode came out. And I've been listening to, I said what I said, since 2017.
Oh, wow.
Oh, look at that. An OG.
When we were talking about, then you used to talk about politics as well.
Yeah.
You see, we used to be serious.
Yeah, I used to talk about Peter the Rock. There was a whole episode sequence.
I remember this.
Yes, I still remember those episodes. But when that episode came out, because I missed it, and then my phone started blowing up. It's like, why didn't you invite Jola and FK? Like, first, I think my first reaction, sorry, what are you talking about? I'm like, Jola and FK said you didn't invite. These are my friends, they're not strangers. You know, and then like I would run into people, and people would be like, you look familiar. And I've always gotten that my entire life. Like, I have one of those allegedly familiar faces. You look familiar. I said, my name, Ugo. Are you buying? Do you work with Bamboo? Yeah. So you didn't invite Jola and FK? Please. So yeah, I wasn't quite sure.
Please forgive him.
Please forgive him.
Yeah, that's right.
I wasn't quite sure, but like I did have fun.
I
think
enjoyed it. It was lovely.
It was lovely.
It was a great chat.
So tell people about what you guys do.
Yeah.
Why
or maybe
they should
what
trust
you do.
what you do.
I suffer. I suffer.
After the suffering.
After the suffering.
More suffering.
To be fair, that's really the nature of work. You know,
doesn't-
sometimes I think about all this. I'm so passionate about my work. It's just rubbish.
Yes, I'm passionate about suffering. So what do I do? My job primarily is to figure out how to grow Bamboo and all our subsidiaries, including Nissan. So like I lead marketing and retail partnerships. So I wake up every day looking at our numbers and thinking of how to explain to you.
What kind of numbers? Users or like interactions?
Yeah. So for me, from where I sit, the primary most important number is live users. So
Right.
people giving me actual money.
Yeah.
I think of sign-ups as like leading or lagging indicators. It doesn't really do anything for me. So also, if you're trying to send Bamboo a pitch, if you start with, it's an opportunity for you to sign users up.
Ugo will be there.
No, I will not be there.
you will not be there because
If you to sign users up inside Smacker Spam.
if it's to get them active.
If it's to get them active, right? So my first primary goal, not primary goal, but my first goal in the chain is how do I get somebody to give me money?
Yeah.
And with the products that we sell on the investment side, there's a layer I like to describe is for somebody to sign up, download, do KYC with Bamboo, they need to be comfortable or have a desire to invest.
Yeah.
Before you get there, and this is where most of the market is our users, the number one most asked question about Bamboo is how do I invest? So I say it like people need to be educated.
Yeah, on how.
But it doesn't actually stop there. After they are educated, they need to be comfortable with the education because you can know something and not know that you know it. So I see this all the time with like Bamboo users. It's like they'll come and ask me a question when we do in-person masterclasses. They go like 4 hours.
Oh.
Yeah, so it's usually an hour of teaching and 3 hours of Q&A.
That's crazy.
Yeah, and it's small by design. So
I didn't realize you guys did.
You guys have to do one with us next year.
Yeah,
we will. And it's like we try to make it really small, so like 35 people in a room. So the problem most people don't know about is like the moment we announce it, it's
It's gone.
Yeah, it sells out.
Sounds familiar.
Oh, well, we are
That's why
users.
that's why we're partnered. But the reason why we do that is because with virtual, people are not always really engaged. But in person, like people will literally. So how we do it is we teach for an hour and we say we've closed.
Yeah.
And we will answer every
Any
question.
question.
And the teaching is just how you invest with Bamboo, general investments.
Yeah, or sometimes more specific things along the chain of investments. But sometimes people will ask questions, and when you begin to answer the question, you realize that they know the answer to the question, but they just needed someone to validate. There's this feature that we released maybe 2 years ago now. I think it's called First Time Investor Guide. You know, in our cool meetings, we were like, when we release this thing, people will fill the form and they'll know what to invest. That's not what happened. People fill it.
Yeah.
And then look at what they want to invest in and look at the answer they got. Okay, it's correct. So yeah, let me.
Yeah.
So it's to like validate them or validate what they're thinking about. So my first job is to get users.
Mm-hmm.
My second job is to grow revenue. I share this with like different teams and people in the organization. But how do we make more money on the same user or more money on more users, right? So that's kind of what I do, and it affects.
This is so interesting because you hear marketing and you assume your first job is how people find out about Bamboo, and you haven't said that.
Yeah, because that's a leading
to all these other things.
But for instance, one of the things I love about marketing is like I don't think there are any universal rules. You know, even when I talk to marketing people, two of us can disagree on the strategy. I'm not a big fan of right now doing events in wait.
Because I'm about to beg one dangerous beg.
I'm not a big fan right now.
Depending on what you say, the phone calls you're about to start getting, because once you step out of this, we're going to say, you see who go.
I'm not a big fan of, not to say like we don't do it, but I'm not a big fan of doing events in our major cities. Because there's an awareness gap.
Whether you're a big fan or not, you go still do
Here's my thing. There's an awareness gap that I'm not necessarily trying to bridge.
Right.
So for instance, if someone should come and say we are doing this big event in Lagos, Bamboo should come and sponsor it, or Misan should come and sponsor it, it needs to be talking to a very specific subset of my customers that I'm not comfortable with, right? Anyone else send me sponsorship. If you have anything for rich people, I'm interested. I'm very interested, right? But if it's like people that are our biggest users in terms of numbers, or people that don't really make us money right now, if you come and you're pitching something for like 5 years, 6-year plan, I might not really be interested, right? Yeah. So the awareness is a part of the process. It's not my end goal, because awareness is also something that's deeply difficult to quantify. Yeah. And the company I work for, the CEO and CEO, the engineers,
so you need the numbers.
When I'm explaining brand and stuff to Yamo, she's, what are we talking about? I'm telling stories about what? So I have to figure out, okay, we have a system now. We've worked together for like 6-7 years. These are the numbers I want to achieve. This is the story I want to tell.
To use to
achieve that number. And then like it works out. Was like, I want to do this. And her eyes, like the eyes. It doesn't really work out. But yeah, that's kind of what I do with like a wonderful team of people.
Yeah.
I think for the Bamboo itself, what we're really trying to do is, how do you build wealth across the African continent?
Yeah.
And specifically in the area of investing. And one of the, obviously I spoke about earlier, is biggest problems is just people don't know, or people are not comfortable that they know. So how do you educate people? We are partnered with like so many finance influencers, have so many educational programs. We did like 2 YouTube courses, put them there for free. We made them short, like everything. But yeah, how do we get people investing? Investing not just in stocks, in fixed income, whatever works for you, because there are no 2 ways
to go about
it. Something makes, my rule is like, if you invest in something that you can't sleep, you're always thinking about it, you should probably exit.
Yeah.
Like honestly, it's just not worth your time. There's either like a knowledge gap there, or like a comfort gap. And if it's a knowledge gap you can solve, if it's a comfort gap, find something else to invest in. And then with Misan, I think some of the original thinking was this inevitable realization that the biggest asset class, if I were to use that term, for Africans to invest in is like other people. And so what can you do sort of
Around
in that area? And so that's kind of how, one of the things that led to the creation of like Missan, as it were.
Wow, an intelligent fellow.
honestly.
I try.
So where can people find
Honestly.
Bamboo and Missan?
So you can find us on social media at Invest Bamboo, I think everywhere. We have like a massive WhatsApp channel as well, where we put basically news and then special and limited offers inside. And then for Missan, you can follow us on social media as well. Missan by Bamboo, everywhere. I think everywhere. And then that's where we are. And then our website, if website is still your thing, investbamboo.com.
And on the App Store.
And on the App Store, Android and iOS.
Find Missan by Bamboo. You can find.
Lovely.
Invest in Bamboo. So thank you so much for coming. We had a great time.
We did.
Shockingly.
Thank you.
To us.
Thank you for having me.
But all right, guys. We hope you enjoyed the episode.
Bye.
You know what to do. Like, share, subscribe, do all the things.
Do all the things.
Ladies, please, let's try and behave ourselves. You know what I'm talking about. You know. Please, you people do this every time. So just one at a time, please. God bless you all.
God bless you. Good night.
Good night.
Now you can get your very own virtual Euro and British bank account. Hey. Woo.
This episode of I Said What I Said is brought to you by Carousel Networks. We are your hosts, Jola Jules Ayaye and Feyikemi FK Abudu. Our guest is the incredible Ugochukwu Iwuchukwu. Nope, I did not pronounce the same name twice. Listen very well. Our producer is Debbie Romeo. Our social media manager is Najite Anira. Our cinematographer is Divine Nabuko. Our production associate is Theresa Jai. Our sound engineer this week is David Kenny. Well, he's every week, so why did I say this week? And our camera assistant is Abolade Oluyede. This season of I Said What I Said is brought to you by Missan by Bamboo.